lovers, it's me, your Captain Vasco speaking. Yeah. Only one stream this weekend for those of you watching on YouTube and confused about things because you haven't joined the Discord. You should join the Discord. It's good. Join us. But yeah, the short version of the story is that late on Thursday night, when all the bad things happen in my building, just like the car incident I discussed recently on stream, there's been a super heavy rainstorm hitting Los Angeles, and it's forecasted to last for like several more days. And that, of course, like triggered all the yellow alerts and eventually the red alert of if you've watched my streams over the past few years, it's usually January, so it lasted. We got a little more use out of the roof than we typically do in a year, but yeah, the heavy rain eventually defeated the shoddy roof work that my building uses as its signature technique. And so like it's probably like the second worst leak by volume that I've experienced over the past several years since it's like become an issue. It wasn't like especially close to the worst in terms of like what it hit, but like it was really like spreading and magnifying, and like I notified the landlady like on Thursday night, like within, like 10 minutes of just noticing a leak and trying to figure out exactly how far it had already reached at that point. And she luckily scheduled some people to come in by the next morning. And so like they did a pretty quick job of sorting it, but like it's honestly I'm kind of suspicious of it. They did like too good a job because like it took them less than an hour to stop all of the leaking, and it just like made me nervous about like trusting it, because it's like I feel like that experience has taught me that should be a more involved process than that. So like I was still kind of nervous, and also like the rain yesterday was like extremely heavy. Like it was like bonkers hard rain, like some of the hardest I've seen in my lifetime. And that's not saying that as someone who grew up in LA, because I didn't. Someone who grew up on the East Coast in a state that experienced weather, including snow and stuff. It was some of the hardest rain I think I've seen. Certainly in many, many, many years. Like since childhood at the very least, but like, oof. But like, because of that and the just general suspicion about the roof holding, I didn't want to start doing a stream and get interrupted by that, or risk like a leak shifting over the couch and like trying to deal with that while being live, or just all sorts of things. Now, I can't guarantee that the stream will last the entire expected runtime, because there have been issues with some places losing power. I haven't lost it yet, but some of them have been pretty close to me. Signified by some like traffic lights and things that are out, but we're gonna play some Excavation of Hob's Barrow and hope for the best. Because I really wanted to stream this game this week, and
forever.
One might question why that is. So if you weren't here for it last week, the Excavation of Hob's Barrow is a pixel art retro styled point and click adventure game. It is a recent release, so it is deliberately retro and not actually like an older game. It ostensibly is some kind of horror game. The trailer kind of makes it feel a bit like it's maybe like cosmic horror or something. What we've played of it so far feels just like this really like agonizingly slow, creeping sense of dread as we, Thomasina, some last name that sounds normal, but I forget it anyway.
I don't need a map to get to Bone Town.
We were invited to the town of Bewley in order to excavate Hob's Barrow by one Leonard Shoulder, who never met with us, and even after like a whole day passed and we went to his house, like we can't find the fool. And so like we've been wandering around town trying to get all of the British townsfolk to like tell us a little bit of information about anything, or maybe just like help us a small amount, and absolutely getting stonewalled at every turn. This is the most, like, passive-aggressively hostile town I've ever seen. It's unbelievable. And on the one hand, I think it does an incredible job of giving you the feeling of just being in a quietly inhospitable environment, which is a really different type of horror than I'm used
She's
to
even stronger than
seeing
my
in
mom.
mostly any sort of medium. But like it does make for a mildly frustrating gaming experience, and I point to one particular detail about that, which is playing the game for like 3-ish hours last week. Our objectives never changed. Things happened, but they didn't help us do anything.
Oh my gosh.
So we left off at we went, a bunch of like nonsense things happened that we'll probably touch on if and when they become relevant again. But the crux of it is that we eventually managed to find Leonard Shoulder's house, but he still wasn't there. We still don't really have a lead on where he is or what may have happened to him. We strongly suspect that we saw him like fleeing town the night that we showed up there, because we found a wet glove next to some wet pants or anything. And after that disappointing dead end, we went back to town and heard like the train coming to the station. We're like, our assistant Kenneth must be here with all our excavation supplies. And Kenneth isn't here. It's implied that he left some sort of note explaining why he's not here. But unfortunately, he left it with the crate of our supplies, which was immediately taken to a locked warehouse run by an individual who does all of the post for, like, I don't know, several small towns in the area, and, like, immediately fled town on horseback to deliver a letter to some person or something. So, like, then we kind of just wandered aimlessly through the town, found a small child who was missing her doll, found her brother to pressure him to find out what he did with the doll, learned that he buried it under a fairy circle, found the fairy circle, went to go dig it up, and then we had a flashback to our childhood where some nanny for our probably somewhat wealthy British family indicated that, like, a fox once ate our doll and we should go find our doll. So we have like a doll related memory. I don't really know what's happening, but that kind of describes most of the game. I will say, having stared at this image for a bit, trying to get the stream working today, I'm a big fan of the retro gaming art style. I think a stylized, like, pixel art style like this holds up really well, because, like, it evokes a certain feeling and a certain impression of what you're looking at without trying to, like, tap into computing hardware to the maximum. So, like, if you make a, you know, Modern Warfare or Call of Duty game or something, like, it's gonna look good for a couple years, and then it's gonna start dropping off gradually, and eventually look at it and be like, yeah, that game looks old. This game, you know, arguably looks old because it's using an old style of graphics, but, like, I you know, stylized things tend to hold up better. I will, however, say that, like, just something uncanny valley creeps me out about this nanny lady. It also, when little girl us looks directly at the camera, it's a little unsettling, to be entirely honest with you. Yeah, it's spooky. Alright, let's try and do something. I've been talking for a while.
What's for supper, madame?
It'll be nothing but a glass of water and a worm if you don't fetch your dolly right this instant.
Why do we have worms for eating? Did we do
Hello,
the same...
fairies.
Did we do the same thing as a child that the boy did to the doll? I don't remember.
Hello.
I do kind of love that young Thomasina, instead of, like, observing things like an adult adventure game protagonist, just greets things like a cheerful, gregarious little girl. That's fun. I will say that also tracks because in the present, Thomasina is, like, insufferably unflappable. Like, this town of Bewley seems like such a miserable place to be, but, like, she's always optimistic even after, like, everyone is, like, super horrible to her. Okay, there's my dolly.
There you are, Josephine. I won't let the foxes eat you.
who is the person who did these, like, picking up animation? They're so
Who's that
weirdly
you have
deliberate.
there, little bird?
Josephine. She introduced me to the fairies.
Oh, fairies, you say?
Do you think fairies are gonna be real in this game? What do you think?
Yes, Daddy.
Do you believe in fairies?
Of course. Do you see those mushrooms over there?
Yes.
That's a gateway to their kingdom. That's where Josephine and I go to talk to the fairies.
Now, listen to me, Thomasina.
Sir, I'm getting the feeling that perhaps you've you've accumulated points and are excited to burn them off. Having fun with the sound effects. No criticism. I just noticed that a lot of them have come from you. If you don't believe in them, they'll die. Well, I mean, then clap your hands or whatever. I'm just saying,
Babe?
like, you know, sometimes in the fiction of the story, they're not real. That's all I'm saying.
Yes?
You're old enough now to hear this. There's no such thing as fairies or talking dolls, my little bird.
Okay, the very fact that he said that almost immediately has me believing that the fairies will definitely be real in fiction.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, my dear child. I do not wish to upset you.
Picture an egg.
I just want to make sure that you understand the difference between fantasy and reality. Josephine is just a doll, and fairies do not exist.
But, Daddy...
Science is the great antidote to the poison of enthusiasm and superstition.
Okay. Now hold on a second. I feel like we're grouping two things together that don't feel like they should necessarily be grouped together. Science is the great antidote to the poison of superstition. You know what? I'll give you that one. That seems fine. Science is the great antidote to the poison of enthusiasm. That kind of makes you sound like a sociopath. Like that sounds like a really messed up thing.
Please always remember that. If you hear anything about fairies or the like again, know that it's hogwash. What is it?
Oh, I forgot about the creepy. We're very close to her face. Okay.
Hogwash.
I will say this. Well, I feel like that scene was, like, cartoonishly villainous of the dad character. Like, I do kind of dig the way that this game is setting up the conflict of her scientific approach to things. We also had, like, a conversation with the local vicar. I think he's a vicar. I don't know... I don't know the titles of, like, British religious figures as well as maybe I could. But, no, maybe they were calling him Father Roche? I don't know. The local, like, clergyman. And he was asking if Thomasina was, like, a person of faith, and the game sort of forces us to be honest with him and be like, well, you know, my dad fell ill, and, like, the circumstances of it kind of, like, made me feel like there just wasn't, like, a real reason to be faithful. And like, I appreciated that there was at least, like, some nuance to that. And she's already sort of said that, like, her interest in science came from the father. So, like, even though, again, I do feel like that scene was, like, over the top, like, cartoonishly villainous of the dad, like, a more subtle version of that conversation, I think, would like, appropriately sell me on the fact that, like, okay, so, like, you know, she's very much like a literal, scientifically minded kind of person, because from a young age the dad encouraged that, and then, like, we're gonna almost definitely see some, like, scary, unexplainable stuff, and, like, there'll be, like, a real struggle for the character in a way that a lot of stories, even remotely similar to this, I feel like just blush over because it's hard to do that, so they don't want to.
Did Wally bury the doll, I wonder?
Like, obviously. What? Wally's the brother of the sad child whose doll was stolen by her brother. And he said he gave it to the fairies, and there's, like, a little grave here that's doll-sized. What do you think happened, scientist lady? I was just trying to give you credit for this. Now you're acting like I don't even know what. Some sort of total goof. They always, like... Why is she always dropping it low is all I'm asking you. You could shoot that from another angle. Okay, great. That's an upsetting doll, and it is...
This must be Jane's ragdoll.
It's, like, pierced in the arm like it's a voodoo doll, and also there's worms. Like, I don't love this. This is not great. This is definitely, like, a super cursed doll. And I know I'm using the word cursed a lot, but I do feel like this town is, like, super duper cursed on the whole.
Perhaps these wriggling worms are the fair folk young Wally was so fearful of. How strange. There is a hairpin pierced through the arm. This may come in handy. I'll keep it.
That feels like a slightly weird reaction to that. Although I don't honestly know what the normal reaction to it would be. But, like, rather than, like, question it, she's just sort of like, ooh, a piece of candy. And I find that, like, particularly weird in light of the fact that thus far she's resisted most of my natural impulses to just pick up everything that's nailed down to complete the adventure.
At least I shall not return from Bewley empty-handed.
Quite the consolation prize you have there in that Roderick cube. Why is she always dropping it low is now a core memory. Tell me I'm wrong, Ditto. They just keep using that animation, and every time I'm like, for real, this is the just, like, pick up a thing off the ground animation? They even had her do it as a little girl, and I'm like, alright now, come on. God, do I even remember where the girl is? Where's the map? Stupid house, Devil's Toe, the woods... The map system is peculiar to me because it doesn't encompass all possible places to go. I have to go find the little girl again. Good luck to me. She was like north of some screen I hadn't gone north of, I think. I'm pretty sure? Was it here? Oh, with the really loud brook or whatever they were calling it. Yeah. Alright, I got your cursed doll, strange girl.
I present to you Myrtle.
Myrtle! I missed you so much.
I gotta say, like, the whole, like, ambient...
Now, I believe we had a deal.
The whole nature of this game has me, like, so on edge that, like, I really thought we were gonna hand her that creepy doll and she's gonna be like, that's not Myrtle. And then I just, like, found a creepy doll and, like, didn't find her doll and, like, would have no idea what to do moving forward.
Hide and seek.
Pardon?
Come back.
This game. Even the friendly little girl is
For
hostile.
moments like these, I thank myself for not having children.
Oh, wait. She left. Does that mean I could touch the weird fossil imprint she was, like, mad about?
I can't pry the fossil from the rock with my bare hands.
Okay, what's in my inventory again? I could try the trowel. I don't think that'll work. Drop it
The
low.
trowel is too blunt to chip away at the rock.
Christina Milian would be proud. That's all I gotta say.
The hairpin isn't strong enough to remove the fossil.
Do you also like that anytime we try to interact with it, we get the drop it low? So, like, you can trigger it at will? Oh yeah, she caked. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know the lingo. I don't know what the source of cake... I don't know where caked came from. Gonna be dead before we reach her. Oh, like, everyone in town is gonna be dead suddenly, or it's gonna be like a hot fuzz thing, or I don't know. Something horrible is coming. And it's not Christmas. Christmas is coming, but, like, this town is gonna get wiped off the face of the earth first. For sure. Alright, I don't think I have the necessary object to steal the fossil. Can I take her
They aren't mine
dolls?
to take.
Apple bottom, like, excavation garb. Oh, at least I can just chase her.
Hey,
I'm sure nothing bad will happen. Hey, Arcadius, we're chasing a little girl. I hope you're having a totally normal and not creepy day, too. Over by the train. Nah, we're in the area of the woods where all the people were, like, chopping down trees and telling us we should go.
Jane?
God, it's gonna be horrible in there. Like, listen. I think some people might have gotten the wrong impression last week. Like, the game is, like, really unsettling. It's not that I don't like that. It's just that it's really unsettling. Like, when this happens, I just feel like, I'm gonna go in there, and something bad's gonna happen. And, like, thus far, like, it's weird because, like, they don't let up on the tension because, like, nothing good or nice ever happens, but they also never break the tension by having the bad thing actually happen. So it's just this, like, really gradual but constant descent into, like, an unsettling spookiness. Anyone else here Swiper the Fox? Do you see Swiper the Fox? Maybe reach into this hole.
Jane, get out of there. Don't make me come in.
I don't think you can. You're too caked.
Fine.
We're gonna have a Winnie the Pooh situation.
Curses. The hole is too small for me to fit through.
I gotta tell you, I do enjoy that her catchphrase is curses. Okay. What though? What do I trowel it? Do I just, like, dig it a little bigger? Curses too caked would be the ideal dialogue.
I was always happiest with a trowel in my hand.
That's what she said just now in the voiceover.
Uncovering hidden worlds within the earth itself, clod by clod. That should do it.
I'm gonna be honest, that's a very straightforward solution that for some reason I really expected the game not to let me do. So I'm genuinely surprised that that worked. Like, I was all set to go have to do another random quest. Drop it low.
Jane!
Oh, I don't like it here. Oh, I super don't like it here. Give me the save. I might have to reuse this save title. But, like, I don't like it here. I presume I will need to use my single copy of match. Use match with darkness. I attacked the darkness with magic missile. That curse is too caked. I mean, that would be the name of the save file if I had saved before trying to get in.
The useless thing blew out.
Did it just use... It just used it... It just used it right up? Like I just don't have a match anymore? What kind of game is this? I still don't know what kind of game this is, but that's so baffling. How is this the kind of game where I try to use a match in the tunnel and it's just gone forever? Yeah, I'm gonna reload, but it may be the case that I need to do that in order to advance the game, but like, I like for sure, like, this is, okay, as a reminder, this game does tell you, I don't remember what it's F5 and F7, one of them is quick save and one of them is quick load. What that tells me is there are going to be points in this game where I can die, and it also suggests that there are fail states. It's more Sierra than LucasArts, indeed. But even in Sierra, that is a wild thing to happen. It's like, you find a dark tunnel, you use a match, and instead of her just being like, the match won't light up enough of this tunnel, whatever, too caked, then, like, she just uses it up and is like, curses, foiled again. Yeah, curses too caked is, like, probably the episode title. Let's be real. Oh, hang on. I clicked over whatever I was going to say. Can I get her to say it again? Drop it low.
Jane!
Nope, can't get her. Okay, well, let's just real quick. Just gonna load that a second time. And we're just not gonna click so fast.
I can't see a damned thing in...
Okay. And we know it's not a match. So now I just go talk to all the belligerent townsfolk again. That's pretty much what I saw. Oh, right, this doesn't... Can't get there from here. It feels different, but it's probably just the lack of vomit. It's not so much a joke as an actual observation. Hope you don't need a candle. I mean, like, I think... Can I... No, wait. Will they or did they replace the candle in my hotel room? Maybe Stanley Parable can tell me what is good in town. His model weirds me out because when he looks straight ahead, he looks like completely, totally bald. And when he looks a little bit to the left or right, you can see his hair. There's something about that that's unsettling to me. Blacksmith did have a lantern, and I don't have any candle.
Candle has melted.
It's so weird that we, like, establish stuff like this in this game that feels like it's like, oh, that's a perfectly normal lead, but I assure you, you can't do that. Just because I'm here, I want to talk to... Maybe I can ask him for a candle? I can ask him for a candle.
Can I please have a new candle for my room?
I'll go upstairs and replace it this evening.
Can I have one now?
It's not dark yet, Miss Bateman.
Listen, guy, I know how this sounds, but I was too caked to get into this little crawl space, and I need to catch that little girl. Alright, now that I'm saying it out loud, it actually sounds like even worse, but, like, just give me the candle, bro.
Never mind. What can you tell me about Lord Panswick?
A most charming man, Miss Bateman. He looks after us here, a good fellow.
Where does he live?
Panswick Manor, on the moors.
I can't tell you how much I hate the answer that something is on the moors. I don't feel like it is an unrealistic answer, but it basically just tells me, like, you can't get there from here. Like, not in town.
No visitors allowed. His lordship likes his privacy.
So, I think I'm led to believe that this guy, Lord Fancy Bottom, is the dude who, like, was admiring our cakes at the end of the last episode and was like, ooh, a lady in the forest. Still not gonna ask him about that tab until I have to. I want to get my money first. Because, like, the only reason I was gonna ask about a tab is to, like, buy a drink to the one guy who, like, wasn't a total ding-dong to us, but, like, I honestly don't think that helps us at all. I don't think that this is a dating sim. It'd be a really fun surprise if it were, though.
I have one just like this.
Oh no, don't tell me that the solution is I have to get the package out of the stupid mailroom. I hate it there. Suitable question would be how many Shakespeare trivia questions away is he? God, I hate that that's true.
Good day.
Yes?
Mr. Crozier, might I borrow your lantern?
Sorry, lass. I need it.
Do you need it now? Like, I know I sound pushy, but, like, do you literally need it now?
My eyesight is not what it used to be.
It's not even, like, close to the anvil, though. Like, if the anvil was set up, like, right next to the lantern, I'd be like, yeah, totally get it. But, like, he is far enough away from it that I, honest to God, don't think that lantern is doing much to help him.
The extra light helps me see what I'm hammering.
I understand. What can you tell me of Lord Panswick?
His lordship commands much respect around here, lass. Keeps me busy with work. Why do you ask?
Just curious. Thanks for your time.
Aye. Speak to you later.
So, like, here's why I say things like I struggle to understand what kind of game this is. Because, like, the vast majority of all adventure games I've ever played would have me talk to the blacksmith and be like, can I have your lantern? And he'd be like, well, I kind of need it for my hammering, tee-hee. But if you were to find me, like, a X, Y, or Z, that would also help me do my job, and so I would let you borrow it. But this game does the improv equivalent of blocking basically every time you talk to a human being. And so it becomes really difficult to know what you're supposed to do at any given time. It's not an outright criticism of the game, but I mention it because it does generate some amount of frustration.
Hello. Good day.
Oh, fuck off. Let's ask this fine lady about cakes. I know it's not the cakes we've been talking about, but I just can't help myself.
Your cakes look delicious.
I can assure you they are. You'll not find better in the entire county.
You know, just based on the conversation we've been having, this feels uncomfortable.
Father Roach asked me not to discuss that with Mrs. Duplancy.
Oh yeah, he did do that. Nah, that's cool. That's fine. I genuinely forgot that because it's been, like, a lot of a week. I mean, I kind of want to know about the puking and the bloodletting, but, like, you know... It's a weird town. It's almost definitely not going to be the weirdest thing I encounter. It says I just spat out ice cream. She said, your cakes look delicious. I don't understand, Haggis. Why would that be?
What do you know about Lord Panswick?
Wretched man. They say he is restoring a chapel near his manor. But for whom and to what god, I ask?
Is he a man of faith?
I've barely seen him set foot in St. Edmunds. It doesn't stop him from acting as our God-given ruler.
He says, there's a wagon at the Smiths. Maybe if you give him a giant loaf of stale bread, he'll give you a lantern. Stranger things have happened, but I gotta say, Arcadius, I don't want to mess up my blade.
Stay away from him, pet. Don't get yourself tangled up in local affairs.
I certainly don't intend to.
I don't intend to. Now, about those local affairs.
Why did you call Lord Panswick wretched?
He hides in that manor of his and cares not for his people. I've heard stories whispered in the pews, you know.
What kind of stories?
That he shoots people on sight.
One of those reasons why we have quick load, huh?
Anyone that strays onto Panswick Manor.
Good grief.
Yet he will walk into the plough and furrow and buy ale
Forgot it was
for
called
all
that.
and be hailed as our protector. I answer to God and God alone. Forgive
With the
me.
wagon, we could
I
steal
shouldn't get so
40
worked
cakes.
up.
That's 4 tens of cakes. You're right, Haggis, that is terrible.
Not at all. I appreciate your honesty, Mrs. Duplancy.
Why do I ask anyone about this wretched place?
Are you sure you don't know where Hobbs Barrow is?
Hobbs, what?
Never mind. Thank you for your...
Lord be...
I'm sure it's on the moors. At some point, I know I'm gonna have to, like, read one of these memorial plaques and, like, learn something. But, like, that day better not be, like, today. I don't wanna. Still kind of want to dig up this grave. Okay, so... Oh, hi. Will you be my friend? Can't talk to the crow. I can only look at the hole. Can I actually look at the hole again? Drop the bow. Oh. I clicked past that because I thought all she was going to say was hum, and I wanted to, like, make her say hum repeatedly. Things that make you go picking up an earthworm.
I've already taken one.
Well, I gotta be more careful about clicking. This game is very peculiar about everything.
I've already...
Well, I have a worm now. Does that make anything better? I feel like it doesn't. But I got a worm now. I haven't tried going this far out. This woman might be your favorite character.
Stretch into the distance. I don't
Like-
wish to wander aimlessly.
Like, ever, Sarah? Just, like, of all fictional characters? Alright. I don't know why I can't get comfortable. Probably all the stress in the world. No, but definitely this game. Well, that's a low bar. Who's your runner-up? I feel like... basically, like, Mrs. Duplancy is the most reasonable, and she's kind of like a... nosy gossip, so, like, she's certainly not above, you know, scrutiny. A little rabbit. I can't interact with the little rabbit. I can't wander aimlessly into the moors. You're coming with me, little fellow. I shall name you Kenneth. You shall be my new assistant. Maybe new Kenneth will help me get the package that old Kenneth just sent here with a note. I don't know why, but I really just want to steal this man's pants.
I've come a long way to meet you, Mr. Shoulder.
Oh, that's the line that I skipped. Oh, thank you, Ditto. I appreciate that. Coming with me, little fellow, I shall name you Kenneth.
Please open the...
Okay. So wait, if I check my inventory, is he called Kenneth? No, he's called Worm. Hang on.
It's little
Right-click
Kenneth.
to... It's little Kenneth.
A sharp hairpin. Could be useful.
Hey, wait. Can I use this as a Victorian lockpick? Can I feed the chickens the worm? Maybe. I don't know what I would expect that to do for me.
I can't pick this type of lock with a hairpin.
Come on. Wait, can I pick the lock at the mailroom with the hairpin? Just give me the pants. Just give them to me. I need them.
The trousers feel damp. Freshly hung?
Freshly hung. It's just I feel like this game has like an unnecessary amount of like phrasing in it, you know? Like a lot of these sentiments could be expressed without sounding so raunchy. I don't think they're trying to, but like I'm just saying. Maybe I can talk to... I think her name is Jane. Maybe we could talk to Jane's brother, and he'll tell us something about catching the little girl. Because, like, we're a science witch or something? I'm not entirely sure what we're doing.
Good day.
No, all I can do is ask him about Lord Panswick. Like an actual lunatic.
What do you know about Lord Panswick?
I heard he owns the whole county.
Have you met him?
No, he lives out on the moors somewhere.
Doesn't look like anything to
But
me.
everyone does what he tells them to.
Why's that?
Because he has a lot of money.
Goodbye.
It reminds me of this winter. I talk a reasonable amount about how much I like just like general Hallmark Christmas movies and that sort of thing. I found one from like a year or two ago that was made. I don't know if it was made by Hulu, but it was like streaming on Hulu, and it's called A Christmas Movie Christmas. And in it, like two sisters, like accidentally like trigger some sort of Christmas magic and end up in like a fictional like Christmas village setting that follows like the conventions of like a Hallmark Christmas movie. And in that movie, like anytime someone wasn't from the Christmas village, they would just say they were from the city. And I feel like that's what the moors are. It's like you live in like a horrible British nightmare village, or you're from the moors. Yeah, Christmas isekai, basically. That's basically what it is. Just that little girl in the hole for a few hours. Yeah, I don't know if this is the kind of game where she's gonna, like, die of thirst or something. The problem is, like, I don't honestly remember how to get to the post office. Because I only went there, like, one time. No, wait, is it here? I think it might be here. It's honestly a pretty, like, I think that movie is great. It's really well done. And I think it's honestly for people who like those movies or people who hate them. Like, it's done so well that I feel like it works kind of either way.
There's nothing
it goes
else
both
I wish
ways.
to discuss at the moment.
I mean... That one's for you, Sarah. Doesn't apply here, but it will probably apply later if I need to use it. I'm just gonna try and pick this lock in broad daylight and see if this guy gets mad.
I can't try to pick the lock whilst Mr. Long is standing there.
Okay, so is the order of operations that I open a tab with the innkeeper, I buy this guy a drink, I slip out the bathroom like the other guy did to me yesterday, and then I unlock this door to steal my own property?
There's nothing...
I'll try it.
I'm sorry to ask this, Mr. Kemp, but could I please open a tab?
Still not in your purse?
I'm afraid not. My assistant hasn't arrived as planned, so I find myself in a bind. He must have put the money in my crate, which is currently being held in Mr. Price's storeroom.
The good news is, if I'm right about this, I can get you the money almost immediately.
Well, as you know, I run an honest establishment here.
Uh-huh.
And I do trust you.
Okay, even though I did explicitly lie to you.
So yes, I'll open an account for you. To
Awesome.
be settled at the end of your stay.
Fantastic.
Of course. Thank you, Mr. Kemp.
Now then, I'll be needing something of value as a deposit.
I don't suppose you'll accept my worm.
I thought you said you trusted me.
Aye, it's not personal, lass. One can never be too cautious.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's an unreasonable ask for an out-of-towner. I assume he'll just reiterate
How can
this.
I open a tab again?
Leave me. I'll give it back when it will be.
Okay. So I just
Goodbye.
need something of generic value that, like, probably wouldn't be a good inventory item, right? My room key. There's letters from Leonard Shoulder. There's my Michael Jackson glove. I really have nothing of even a little bit of value here, huh? You don't want my worm, right?
Mr. Kemp would think me a fool.
It's worth a shot, though. Joke's on you. I'll be dead before I check out. Probably ditto, yeah. I don't think the match will work. Like, I'll try the match just because it's a stupid idea. But, like, he basically gave it to us. Like, basically.
I don't think Mr. Kemp would consider his complimentary matches to be an item of value.
Didn't she have a locket? I don't call such a thing. I mean, the letters, I think, were the only object we had when we came to town. This key we got when we checked in. The matches were in the room. We found the glove outside the place when we were chasing after Drunkard. We borrowed this trowel from outside the church. We stole this hairpin from the voodoo doll, and Kenneth is our friend. Something from a room. I mean, she has her dress there. I don't call anything else.
I've stored my case in there. A box within a box. I've hung my dress inside. Aside from that, the wardrobe is empty.
I don't believe we came with any objects of value. I think this is a puzzle. And not just like a memory check. I could be wrong. I could just be forgetting something. But I think we've accounted for every item I've known the game to give us. I mean, I think I'm on the right track here. I think that guy was so excited to get a free drink from us that if we can get him one, he'll leave, and we have this thing that doesn't work on Leonard's lock, so I presume it will work on that one.
It is rusty and full of holes.
But what item of value can I get, though?
Alas, it is not.
Wait a minute. If I give him the fossil from that stupid brook, might he give me the lantern so I can chase Jane and do whatever that entails? I honestly don't remember what we were supposed to expect Jane to do for us. Something involving Leonard, right? No, she was going to show us Hobbs Barrow, right? So maybe she just went straight to Hobbs Barrow. Is that what she's doing? Curse these cakes.
Good day to you, Cyril.
Cyril hates me. I'm going to ask him for an object of value.
I'll do, lass.
Henry Long is the guy that I want to give drink to. Yes?
What do you make of Henry Long?
An idiot who thinks that station's a good idea.
Yeah, he's like the only guy in town who thinks that, so that must be the right guy.
Imagine strangers pouring into Bewley. Turns the stomach, that does.
As a stranger to this town, yeah, I suppose I can't imagine
Maybe he has a point. You could travel.
Bah, you're an outsider. I'd expect you to have such a bad opinion. But Henry, he's a Bewley lad. We've had the odd barney or two in the pub over it all.
I can imagine. Can I buy you a drink, Cyril?
Now?
Oh, I don't have any money.
Well, I'm not buying you a drink.
Please?
You must think I'm daft.
What is this option? Why is there this option to just buy everyone in town a drink? Like, I feel like there's some potential legitimate value to buying Henry a drink. But, like, why is it that apparently I can go up to several people in town and be like, why don't I buy you a drink? Like, why? Why is that a thing? Blow out his lantern so he can't see and take the fossil. No, I think it's the opposite. He collects fossils. We had a short conversation about it. I think if I collect the fossil from the loud screen somehow and give it to him, then maybe he'll be like, ooh, here's my lantern. But, like, I don't know. No one in this game is reasonable, so, like, maybe not. Maybe he'll just stab me or something. Use knife on person is typically a great idea in an adventure game. How you doing, Cotillion? What could the worm possibly do? Could I try to feed the worm to the chickens?
I can't pry the...
Maybe they'll become reasonable after a drink. Well, it certainly didn't work on Arthur or whatever. That was like the worst 2 shillings I've ever spent. Now, granted, they are also the only 2 shillings I have ever spent. But I think the point still stands. To amend the suggestion, blow out his lantern so he can't see, and take the fossil, and then give him the fossil in exchange for something valuable. So just give him the same one he already possesses. For some reason, the example that comes to mind is that episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, where the guy uses his stand to steal money out of the cash register through the window, and then hands the guy a whole bunch of money to help him out. Oh, clicked out of the window. I love it. Should probably just move the window closer to the edge of the screen, but I won't do it. I suppose I should just use the map. It takes 1,000 years to get to the Shoulder house. I mean, we named it. It seems weird to give Kenneth as food, but, like, I mean, worse than that, I don't know what I expect this to do for me, but I recently saved, so I'll try it. Is he just gone now? I did click on it and got no response, right?
That would be rather cruel to the poor worm. That would be rather cruel.
Her voice is familiar. Who does she sound like? I really hate this place. The chickens are my friends, don't get me wrong, but, like, I just resent this place for being Leonard Shoulder's house. He's some sort of dipstick. You click the other clothes. She just comments on how they're all wet. It makes me frustrated because I want his pants. I just want to get in his pants, you know? I don't know what that'll do for me, but, like, the game's all about innuendo. And, like, being hostile towards Thomasina.
What a peculiar name. I can't quite see the resemblance myself. No, that's not it.
Could be. How do you know unless you try?
I don't wish to dig it up.
Alright, listen. I have recently saved, and have accomplished nothing since that save. Now let's see if the game will let me wander into the darkness and get eaten by a grue. It's not the thing I want to do. It shouldn't work, but I just want to see if the game will kill me for it. Then I'll at least have learned a thing about the game. Would have been hysterical if the worm didn't work on Hen, but worked on Rooster. I mean, it was worth a try, right? This is a locked door too, isn't it?
It's locked.
Alright, look. I recently saved and am a complete sociopath. Can I pick the lock into this church storeroom?
It's the wrong type of lock for this to work.
It has to work on the mailroom. Like, what? Like, none of the other locks in town let me do it. That has to be the one, right? Can you dig the fresh grave? No, I tried it. No. Oh, just leave. I honestly am hoping that I get eaten trying to do this. It probably just won't let me do it, but like, I think I'd prefer it if it would eat me.
Jane?
Jane!
Jane? Jane? Jane?
No, it's Jason. You're looking for Jason? I think you're asking about Jason.
Jason!
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm glad we all agree on this. Don't go in the giggle hole. Then what am I supposed to do with my worm, Cotillion? That's all I have to ask you.
I can't think of anything else to... I'll let him get...
I really wanted these people to just randomly give me something of value. The problem is, like, I totally think it's a reasonable request to, like, ask for something of value in order to, like, act as collateral. But anything of value that I possess would be in that crate. And, also, this, like, porta potty of a town doesn't have anything of value, like, total. It's like nowhere in this town is there anything of value. It's not even that, like, I'm poor. It's that, like, there's nothing around here. There's a bird in the tree, but it's not a clickable bird. It's just a friend bird. Train station? I don't think anything will have changed at the train station, except maybe I can ask Arthur a question or two. By the way, he's right under the box. I realized when watching this back, like, that wasn't maybe totally clear. Yeah, tell me about Lord Panswick, idiot.
What can you tell me about Lord Panswick?
Oh, you've heard of his lordship, then?
Yes. Do you know him?
Aye. He comes
Lives
into
in the
the
moors.
village from time to time, gives sweets to the children, hires young men to work his land.
When you phrase it like that, I immediately am unsettled.
He's well liked around here.
I sense some hesitation, Mr. Tillett.
Well, we kind of have an unspoken agreement with his lordship.
Something about blood sacrifices?
He looks after us, provided we leave him alone.
I don't think he... That feels more like a protection racket. It doesn't seem like he actually does much for you. It's more that he doesn't shoot you all on sight, is like kind of the impression I'm getting.
I don't follow.
He likes his privacy.
Some people do.
No one is allowed to visit him.
Do you mean to say that he's a bit eccentric?
I don't think that's what he means.
No. I've heard people got fired at when approaching his manor uninvited.
Good grief. But is this true?
Well, I won't be the one to find out.
Farewell for now.
Ta-ra!
The context clues definitely give me the impression that this is important information to have, because I think it's very possible that at some point I will find his house on the moors, and if I go there without a plan, I will just die of gunshot. They will fill me full of daylight, or, you know, British fog or something. It's tough because this is like an inventory light kind of game that like poses me a lot of challenges that I don't like know what to do with.
This must belong to someone.
Terrible protagonist for this adventure game. Just I don't know what to do now.
No one here. Hello?
Just ask everyone about Lord Panswick. We have no filter at all.
What do you know?
He gave me some sweets once. My friend says that Lord Panswick has special trees at his manor that grow sweets on their branches.
Well, your friend's an idiot. I mean, good for
I
you.
think that's true, miss.
I think that's very unlikely.
Me too.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, miss.
Good day.
Hello, miss.
What do you know about Lord Panswick?
Not a lot. I know he's in charge around here.
Does he come to the village often?
Not really. He has a manor out on the moors.
Have you ever been there?
Heavens, no. Villagers aren't allowed there.
Why not?
Dunno. It's just the way it is.
Goodbye.
Bye, miss.
Goodbye.
Hello?
This guy's never been friendly before. Let's ask him about Lord
What can you
Panswick.
tell me about Lord Panswick?
Naught to say, except don't be sniffing around his lordship's manor. You'll end up with a round of shot in you.
I beg your pardon?
You heard me. Just mind your own business around here.
I mean, even though it's the same information we've been given twice before, this sounded more like a threat.
Goodbye.
Ta-ra.
No, over there's my least favorite child in this town. He's not great. I mean, like, Jane is more of a hindrance to us, but I'm still inclined to agree. Can I find something useful in, like, the toilet or something?
Sturdy-looking barrels. I suspect the barrels are empty. I'd rather not go into those horrible toilets again.
Literally won't let me go in the toilets. I don't think it will even let me do it from inside. I feel like I've tried it from inside. I mean, in fairness, it is a men's restroom, and I feel like anytime a woman is subjected to that, they're like, oh god, this is what it's like? No, 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 no.
I must say, last night has rather put me off using these toilets.
Listen, I genuinely feel like this is a reasonable position to have, but, like, the thing that upsets me about it is that, like, she's not upset about, like, any of the behavior in town. Like, all of these people being, like, rude or, like, dismissive or what, like, just nobody is super helpful or cool or interested in having, like, a reasonable conversation. But she, like, went into the bathroom and she's like, absolutely not. It's not like she saw a murder in there. It's not like, based on what we saw, she saw the horrors of a men's restroom. It's subtextually implied, but, like, I feel like we're gonna see scarier stuff, but, like, she refuses to go back to that bathroom. I just don't feel like I have any leads right now. I mean, like, my to-do list basically hasn't changed other than, like, find Jane added to it. What's worse is, like, there aren't even that many screens, so I feel like I should know... Oh, hang on a second. Can I ever try going north of here? No, that only goes back the way I came. It won't actually let me look north, huh? Can I go the other way? Some of these screens stretch, but this one does not. This one is just this guy making sure I don't acquire my own possessions and the way I came from.
The cross denotes this as the site of a market, or perhaps a site of traditional religious significance.
They're two reasonably different things. Ends up not being a particularly useful sign, I feel. Hey, Mr. Generic Name, welcome to the stream. How's it going? I've missed, like, all of your streams consecutively since the start of the year. I hope you're having a better time than I am for the most part.
I have one just like this.
I gotta say, I've been watching a lot of Northern Lion playing the Hitman roguelike mode, and I kind of just want to hit this guy over the head with a wrench and steal his lantern. That's what I want to do.
The blacksmith is right here. I've no need to go inside.
How have I been? I've, like, honestly not been doing great. I've been depressed for about a month, and had, like, a major incident with my apartment, which caused me to miss a stream yesterday, and been watching it too. It's such an enthralling series, Ditto. I just can't stop it. It's like the thing I look forward to every day. But yeah, man. I don't what. Also, I've been trapped in this, like, cursed British town, and, like, I do not know what to do. Can I go in the church? Have I tried just going in the church? I feel like I did at some point.
Me, look at these box pews.
At least I haven't actually done it before.
I've never seen any as tall as that before.
Yeah,
most
tall.
Unusual architecture, even for the Normans.
Is this valuable?
Someone has left a necklace hanging here. A silver cross. Sterling by the look of it. Maybe I can reunite it with its owner.
Yeah, like, we could do that. But we could also just open a tab with it, is what I'm thinking. Because I need you to know this, I play a lot of adventure games, and I have conditioned myself to be a sociopath. You weren't aware it's a roguelike mode? Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It looks really hard, but it's a lot of fun to watch, at least. I don't know if I would enjoy playing it, but I do think Hitman's a pretty good game. I have not historically been very good at it. I only played, like, Hitman 3 or whatever with tech, but, pretty good. I don't know.
Locked.
Locked? This is an unfamiliar sensation to me.
Locked as well. I think they all might be.
Locked the pews? That's a thing you can do? In like a
No time for such things.
British church? Well, I guess I found my lead, maybe. I'm trying to get... Well, I've mentioned to Tech that the roguelike mode for Hitman exists, because I do feel like it is something he would like. But he does not have terribly much time these days, as you might infer. Basically, nothing of importance has happened since I declared myself too caked, so I'm just going to save over that, and then try to open a tab. Oh, no, hang on, it's not talk to him, it's give him the thing.
Goodbye.
See you.
Yeah, just give you a rundown, Mr. Generic Name. We're in the town of Bewley, a British town that's right outside the moors. And we were invited here by a guy named Leonard Shoulder to excavate a super old burial mound that maybe has some sort of treasure, but probably, frankly, is filled with eldritch horrors. And when we showed up here, he didn't meet us like was planned. We think that he ran away from us and has not been seen since. Can't find the site we were supposed to dig up, and we can't find him, and our assistant who's supposed to come with money and supplies didn't show up, and so basically we've got like a whole lot of nothing to do. So we've been wandering around talking to people who do not like us being here.
Will you accept this silver cross pendant as a deposit?
Can I take a closer look at it?
Tell me it's like his. He like left it at the church and then we're gonna get arrested. This is why we save. Do I need to click?
Aye, silver. That'll do.
Thank you, Mr. Kemp.
Can I get you something to drink?
I think no, because I want to buy someone else a drink, and I don't know how much tab I get.
Not right now.
As you were.
I already blew 2 shillings. Okay, autosave. Suggests that the game wants me to think that was the thing I wanted, but I'm keeping the manual save for now, for sure. So, like, can I buy him a drink?
Hello?
Good day.
I can talk to him again.
Can I buy you a drink, Henry?
Really?
Really. We can talk more at the inn.
But I told Mr. Price I'd keep watch of his storeroom.
It's fine. None of the locals would steal anything from the warehouse, right? Right?
Doors have locks for this very reason.
You're right. Won't
Easily
take
persuaded.
long.
Speech
I
100.
shall take you up on your offer, Miss Bateman.
I'm super gonna steal from this place.
Let us make our way.
Well, it seems like I was right, huh? Like I had the right idea, I just needed to steal someone's necklace. But wait, what year is this game? I feel like it predates the invention of a rocket.
Before that, there were the Blucher and the Locomotion. But my favourite would have to be the Lancashire Witch.
I don't know what's happening.
I believe he built that in 1828.
Well, it's later than 1828.
In Newcastle, of course. Well, that's me. I better be off.
Wait!
Ta-ra, Miss Bateman.
I couldn't even get a word in.
He likes a good chinwag, our Henry.
He certainly does.
So, I mean, I kind of figured he was talking about trains, but like,
I must say,
I'm mad about this. This is why we manually save. again, I just can't stress to you enough that I don't understand what kind of game this is. It is a point-and-click adventure game, but it functions like no other point-and-click adventure game I've ever played. Because, like, any other adventure game in the world, in the history of time, would be like, ah, yes, I've lured him to the inn, and now I will sneak out the back entrance and rob the place. Yeah, right, Haggis? I don't know where that man's priorities are. Like, I like trains more than the next guy, but when he gets brought to a bar, and I'm all caked up, offering him a drink, and he's still talking about trains, like, I just don't know, man. Now, is the idea that I have to get him, like, completely plastered, or...
Hello?
Good day.
Look, okay, I just saved. I'm gonna see how far the game will let me take this.
Can I buy you another drink?
I suppose one more ale won't hurt. I shall take you up on your offer, Miss Bateman.
Let us make our way.
The rear wheels are powered by coupling rods. Would you believe? The boiler had 2 flue tubes.
Mild head.
2! There were nothing like it. Well, that's me. I better be off.
Wait!
Ta-ra, Miss Bateman.
How many times... Yeah, right, Kathleen? 2 flue tubes.
I'm starting
2!
to feel somewhat tipsy. I'm here to excavate Hob's Barrow, not Hob's barrels.
Hey, got him. Am I going to drink myself under the table? Why am I still drinking ale? Shouldn't I be, like, drinking water? I feel like this game refuses to let me make some, like, sensible, like, concessions here to, like, execute this plan.
Hello?
Hello, Henry. May I buy you another drink?
Good day.
Can I buy you another drink?
I'm just, like, listen, if I can drink myself to death, I have save files. I will do
I
it.
suppose one more ale won't hurt. I shall take you up.
Let us make our way.
I'm also, like, 8 shillings down the drain. Which is, like, 1, like, mega shilling or something. I don't know how currency works.
It's the latest of many additions to the Midland Railway line. Speaking of change, I hear the whole frontage of Derby Station is being rebuilt, designed by an architect by the name of Tubshaw, if I remember correctly.
Oh, of course, Tubshaw.
Well, that's me. I better be off.
Wait!
Ta-ra, Miss Bateman.
Part of me hopes that, like, instead of just being like, oh, I feel very drunk now, she just, like, throws up like the priest did before. I guess says, I still don't think Tara is a term used anywhere. I think it is. I think. But also, you think she's the worst adventure game protagonist in the land. Even Kate Walker is better. I mean, here's the thing. Like, the Siberia games, especially 2 and especially 3, like, definitely have their problems. I don't think Kate is the biggest one of them. Like, if you saw me play through Siberia 3, then, like, hopefully you remember that the deep frustration is that, like, everyone made Kate do everything. Which, like, isn't extremely dissimilar from Thomasina's situation. But, like, at least, like, the Yukels, like, pretended to be friendly. Like, we're in a similar situation, but, like, Kate Walker wasn't the problem there. It was the absolutely useless Yukels. It says, eventually this train man is going to get the wrong idea if you continue to offer him drinks. No, I think he'll get the right idea, is the idea. You think Kate Walker's the worst, Katane? Explain why. How is she worse than the Yukels? The Yukels are the problem. It's true, we don't have an automaton train, and we don't have Oscar to, like repurpose the hose from a fire engine or something? There was some weird thing in Siberia 3 where you had to, like, play as Oscar for a while, and it didn't make sense, and it wasn't good.
Mr. Long can really put away a drink. Thank goodness I've switched to water.
Should have done that sooner. When all this is said and done, I definitely want to see how much this set me back. Sarah, are you suggesting he's so excited about the train because he wants, like, Oscar the Automaton to come to town? On... Oh, I don't even remember the guy's name. Who's the idiot who made the train in Siberia?
Hello.
Hans... something?
Good day.
Can I buy you another?
I suppose one more ale won't hurt. I shall take you.
Let us make.
Am I supposed to, like, poison his drink or something? Like, I don't... How long can this go on?
It really is great to have someone new to talk to. I've so many more stories to share.
I feel like this is the game indicating that something is not finished here. But that this will just loop.
What?
Wait.
Ta-ra, Miss...
Mr. Longan, thank goodness.
No, because he didn't tell a story that time, I think that's the end of it. Like, if we do it again, he'll just give us that message again.
Henry Longan talk.
He's a colourful character. The man drinks like a fish.
He certainly does.
I've seen him drink this place dry and still be up to tend his garden at sunrise. The man can truly hold his ale.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
Okay, so I have the right idea, but the game has proposed, like, an arbitrary obstacle I must work around. So... I think I'm gonna load... I'll load the autosave. I'll have the tab. There was some shooter from about a decade ago your friends played where you, as Ramirez, had to do every possible task and weaponry. It became a joke. Ramirez, do everything! Yeah, I mean, that's Siberia 3. The game is awful. On the subject, I've been thinking a lot about it. I honestly think it'd be a massive pain to get it running properly. But I've been considering, like, playing through the whole Siberia series because... there are, like, 1.5 new Siberia games out since 3. And I don't think either of them is Siberia 4. Which should indicate something to you. Is it worth going back? Or would you rather just go forward? Or do you just not at all?
Hello?
Yeah, there's something... I think it's even on sale as part of the like mystery thing on Steam that a couple people mentioned to me. That there's like some Siberia Hidden World or something like that game that came out. And I think there's either another one that's like more of a spin-off or like something that's coming soon or something like that.
Good day.
Why poison this man? Actually, I might have goosed something. Bear with me for a second.
Good day.
Can I buy you?
Just gonna click. I'm gonna blast through this. I could try asking the other guy for a drink, but I think I want to try something. This might not work, but like I think I need a flag in the game that says I've like talked to this guy and have knowledge that he drinks too much.
Wait.
And then, based on what we've played so far, I might be able to ask around the entire town about his drinking habits. And then, in theory, perhaps I can learn something that I could do to poison his drink or something.
Henry Long.
Okay.
Goodbye.
That is what I wanted. Now let me try talking to a few people and see if anyone will tell me anything about Henry. You tried playing Siberia 1 on the Xbox, have you? So, like, here's the thing. Siberia 1 is, like, one of the absolute most influential adventure games of all time. It's, like, pretty good? It's not great, but, like, it wasn't afraid to, like, try some new stuff. And was, like, a novel concept, and, like, I appreciate that about it. Siberia 2 was not very good. Siberia 3 was awful. But, like, the world of Siberia is, like, potentially interesting. They just, like, started focusing on just, like, the weirdest aspects of it.
There's nothing else.
Is there no one who will talk to me about Henry?
there's nothing else...
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could try Cyril. This is why we have that one save file.
Good day to you.
I'll do, lad.
Can I buy you a drink, Cyril?
Now?
Yes.
Go on then, lad.
Follow me.
We're a different kind of adventure game sociopath than I'm used to. It's making me confused and uncomfortable.
So then, it turns around and says...
I absolutely love the fact that we will not sit at the same table with this man. This is probably to reuse the art assets of us sitting in these positions from the first night. But my headcanon is that, like, one or both of us, like, refuse to be at the same table with each other, despite the fact I'm paying for his drink. There's a game for me to pick up. It's Case of the Golden Idol. I don't know if I've heard of that.
Why is a dog like a tree? And I says, I don't know. And he says, because they both lose their bark once they're dead.
I mean,
Very
it's
droll, Cyril.
It's wordplay, but it's not funny.
Well, it's been a...
Aye, lass. Tar for the drink. You're not too bad for an outsider.
Does he like me now?
Thanks again for... Now leave me be.
This game is stupid.
I can't think of anything else.
Okay. Let me try something. I'm gonna save here to have this as an option. Ale for all. And then I'm gonna try something completely different. I'm going to load to caked. I still should have my necklace. Can I trade that for the lantern? Is it one of those kinds of games? That's kind of Sierra-esque. Trying to make her go faster, but I'm just providing more definition to those cakes.
Is this yours?
No.
I have nothing else to...
Do you think I actually could find the owner of this cross? Or is it solely meant to be an inventory item?
Is this yours?
Oh, that's beautiful. I'd never be allowed such a pretty thing.
That's a bummer. I'm sorry to hear that. Is it the little boys?
Do you recognize this?
Don't miss.
This reminds me of that stupid thing from the game Contradiction, where you play as this very strange detective in like a British full-motion video game, and like at some point he finds out that like some locals use like the rock on gesture as some sort of like tell for like some club or something like that, and then from that point on you can just walk up to literally every character in the game and have him awkwardly be like, does this mean anything to you? And like basically every single one of them is like, what?
Is this yours?
What do you think?
Yeah, like Contradiction, doesn't it end on like a cliffhanger? Like, doesn't it like not fully resolve its plot because I like ran out of funding or something? It's a bummer because like it's a pretty cool game actually. That's my recollection. That might be wrong.
Is this yours?
No.
I have no good ideas, so I've resorted to this. I'm doing this now. I hope everyone's having a good time. Alright, let me shortcut to probably like the Hernwood. Just ignore the giggle hole. Alright, let me ask these three strange men about this necklace.
I don't wish to give that away. Is this yours?
No.
Interesting that if I ask the blonde guy, she assumes I would give it to him, but she'll ask the other guy about it. Assume you'll fall into the category of the first man.
I'm not sure they would be interested.
I can go to the train station and ask there. But that's like almost literally every person in town that I know of. Well, no, that's not quite true. Hello? I don't think I misclicked.
Is this your...
I don't wear out fancy like that.
I can still ask... Well, you know what? I don't think I asked the Plancy yet. Might literally be hers.
Excuse me? I found this necklace inside the church. Is it yours?
No, Pet. Perhaps someone left it behind yesterday. You keep hold of it for now. I'll ask around at the next service.
Yes! I will do that! Wink.
Are you sure?
I trust you.
Wink. I can also... I guess I didn't show it to Cyril, yeah? So I could do that. Not this guy.
Is this yours?
No, not mine.
No! Honestly, I think the railway station's the quickest way to get to Cyril. No, that might not be true. About the same as the closest, though. We tried to lure the giggle girl with the promise of Christ. No, I need... The game has been pretty clear I need a light source. We could try it, but I highly doubt that would work.
I don't wish to give that away.
It's so weird. There's something really weird about this. That there is a category of NPC that she will not ask about the necklace. If it was just the two woodcutters, I don't think I would question it that much. But why would she not show it to Cyril? That feels weird to me.
I'm not sure they would be interested.
It's so odd. Okay, let me just, like, try picking the locks on random doors in town.
No, that's not it.
I mean, I feel reasonably confident at this point that the necklace may indeed be solely to open a tab. Especially because it does feel as though I most likely need to buy, like, every person in town a drink, or at least buy Henry Long, like, multiple drinks. I'm gonna make a save here having asked a bunch of people in town about the necklace, in case I somehow decide later that I wish I hadn't used the necklace as collateral. But I am also going to load Ale for All, because I think that's closer to progress. Oh, man, I feel tired. So I think at this point I've bought drinks for everyone. Yeah, I said bought. Get lost. I think I've bought drinks for everyone in town who will accept a drink from me currently. It's getting mind-bending. I mean, like, I honestly appreciate this part of an adventure-style game of, like, different possible routes and things. I honestly don't know if this is that kind of game. Like, the only evidence I have to suggest that that's true is the fact that I spent 2 shillings to buy Arthur Idiot a drink, and then he just left. He was super rude about it. And my presumption is I could have not spent those shillings, but, like, frankly, it might be another one of those false negatives where, like, if I tried any of the other options with him at that point in the story, like, the only thing I realistically could have done was to buy him a drink. Actually, yeah, let's see if we can, now that we have a tab, maybe we can offer to buy him another drink, but, like, that sounds like an absolutely stupid idea. Maybe you have to buy it. No, so the thing it seemed like it did, at least in my opinion, Sarah, having asked Henry for multiple drinks, all I think that did is, like, run the game out of unique dialogue options and indicate that to me. Which is why I say, like, that indicates to me that, like, there is something I need to do with him, but before I can do it, I need to change the status quo. That's my read.
I can't think of anything.
I can't offer him a drink, which is probably sane. Ugh. Can I offer her a drink in exchange for her cakes?
I have nothing else. Unfortunately, I don't think the cakes are free.
The fact that it's infinitely repeatable is telling. Yeah, that's more or less my read, Haggis. Try digging up that grave again, even though I know it won't let me. I'll say this. I continue to be interested in this game. I do generally think it is bad in an adventure game when it's not clear what your actual objective is. And you might say to me, Vasco, you have a to-do list. Right. I don't know which, if any of those, I can actually advance right now. That's the problem I have. If I had 3 objectives and I more or less had the sense that, like, 3 of them I couldn't do, but one of them is something I had some idea of how to actively progress, I wouldn't be upset about that. But, like, it's generally bad to, like, not... I mean, it's a different kind of bad when I know the correct thing to do, but the game has some moon logic to it that it requires me to follow in order to actually, like, execute that. But I think it is genuinely a bigger problem when I actually don't know... Like, I guess the thing I know I should be doing is trying to get the light source to find Jane, but I have no earthly idea how to do that.
I may be a barrow digger, but
Yeah, she won't dig up the grave. I have Kenneth, and I have an infinite supply of alcohol. I have Michael Jackson's glove. Single match. And this hairpin that I presume will let me get into the mailroom. I don't know why I have, like, a dedicated inventory item that is my room key. Like, I feel like I'm willing to suspend my disbelief that I have the means to get into my room and that it's not a useful item, which suggests it may be a useful item, but I don't know. I just don't have an idea of what I would do with, like, any of these inventory items. I was really hoping that the silver necklace was gonna, like, do it somehow, because, like, I hadn't been to that screen before, and I had a new item, and it seemed valuable, and it had a use, and I tried to use it, and the use doesn't do anything, which is, you know, like, complicated. Let's just briefly revisit these and see if we spark any new ideas, huh? Objective 1. Explore Bewley. I should take a look around the area and see what I can find out about Mr. Shoulder and Hob's Barrow. I've tried. Virtually nothing thus far. Locate Hob's Barrow. Mr. Shoulder is nowhere to be seen. It's time to find Hob's Barrow myself. I mean, that ties very closely with the first one, and we don't realistically have leads. Find a way into the postmaster's storeroom. My crate is inside. How can I get in there without attracting too much attention? And this one's a little frustrating because I really thought we were close to advancing this, and feasibly it would also have been a means to get a lamp. I feel like a lamp is a thing I would have to excavate barrows. So, like, that could have led me to our final objective listed, which is find Jane. Jane is hiding in what appears to be an underground cave, and curses, it turns out I'm too caked. I need a light source to investigate further. Open puzzles are get lantern, fossil to get lantern. Yeah, like, if I had a sharp object, I could maybe get lantern by doing fossil. That's like a question mark. That may not be the actual way to do it. Distract the guard to unlock the door. Yeah, but I don't have any leads on how I actually do that. Like, I thought it was going to be as simple as, like, I buy him a drink, I slip out the bathroom, and then I break into the storeroom. But, like, no, that doesn't work. The game sort of suggests I need to, like, food poisoning, or I mean, that really seems like it. It feels like I have to, like, spike his drink somehow. I'll double check, but I'm fairly certain that I tried trowel to get the fossil from the brook, and she said it wasn't sharp enough, was my recollection. It is a very sensible thing to try, but I do believe I've tried it and will not be able to succeed. Maybe we could get the bartender to put something in the drink after he leaves. I mean, I kind of tried asking him about it, and all he says is like, haha, yeah, he drank too much. And that's why I was kind of like, maybe I can learn something from the town about it. But, like, it doesn't seem like anyone will talk about it. Drop it low.
The trowel is too blunt to chip away at the rock.
Is anything interactable during? I do not have control during. I mean, we could check that to be sure, but I am fairly certain I do not have control during. Can I go in the beck?
The water is icy cold.
Does icy cold water do anything for me?
I'm not sure what that would achieve.
I don't know, but I'm out of ideas. And I can't, like, go past where Jane was or steal her dolls or anything.
They aren't mine to take.
It shouldn't stop me. I'm the protagonist of this adventure game. Alright, let's go to Town Square. Let's go to Henry. Let's just, like, try clicking feverishly after buying him a drink, but, like...
Hello?
Good.
I don't believe I can...
I buy you an
I think I need to...
makeup?
The impression I have is that I need to set something up in advance. I don't think I can do anything during, because, like, clicking just advances the dialogue. Like, I don't think there's any window for me to do anything.
If that station hadn't been built, we would never have met.
Yeah, I don't have my cursor. So, like,
Blessed
if I click,
be
it advances the
Midland
dialogue.
Railway.
If I finish the dialogue, he leaves. I do not have sufficient control to interact during the drinking interaction.
Idiot!
Oh! Oh! Cyril hates this guy because he likes the railroad, and I lured Cyril here first, and he's mad that he won't shut up. I just had to buy both of them a drink! Oh! And now I can steal my own belongings.
That station is the worst decision this village has ever made!
Nah, we're not gonna end up married to this dude. He doesn't appreciate my cakes.
Cyril Farnaby, a miserable man with miserable ideas.
Now, I have mixed feelings about this, because this is kind of a clever idea, but there's no logical reason why buying Cyril one drink would have him hang out here and do this. If there was some way that the game forecast that that's like a thing that could happen, I would be more impressed with this puzzle. I don't hate it, but I do feel like this is more trial and error than clever solution.
I will change your mind even if it kills me.
But we fell backwards into progress by trying stuff. So I'll accept it. Game saved. No one will appreciate this but me. A real deep cut. I guess says Cyril, the next time I hear someone mention pedestrian-friendly infrastructure, I will draw steel. Sounds right, sounds right. You know what's going to kill me? You know what's gonna, like, I'm going to explode into dust? If I click on this and she's like, it won't work on this type of lock, I'm going to die.
Kenneth taught me this useful trick. A hairpin is much more than a hair accessory. A few wiggles and this lock should spring right open.
Are you gonna drop it low? I'm genuinely shocked. The worm. No, she named the worm after her assistant. We named the dog Indy.
I've snapped the hairpin in the process, but I managed to unlock the door. Let's open this envelope.
I'm so desperate to know what's in this envelope, and I feel a creeping sense of disappointment already.
There's a note inside.
There better be. Miss Bateman, I beg your forgiveness. A matter of grave urgency has arisen in London, and I cannot join you in Bewley. I packed your usual equipment, and pray you will find local assistance. Well, unfortunately, I have bad news for you, Kenneth. I will not. Look forward to seeing you upon your return. Yours faithfully, Kenneth Not the Worm. The Ark of the Covenant is in there. Yeah, it's our usual excavation equipment, Angel. What's unclear about that?
I wonder what happened.
Maybe he also dug up
Mr.
Cthulhu.
Long comes back.
Moving
a fully laden crate through the village square was no easy task.
I have to tell you, in no universe did I think that wasn't going to be a puzzle. They made it quite clear that that crate was, like, huge, and we are but one caked lass. And I thought for absolute certain that there was going to be some asinine puzzle about moving the box. I am genuinely not surprised, but shocked that we are hand-waving, moving that enormous crate into the alley behind the inn.
Somehow, no one was there to witness it.
Emperor Palpatine returned. Somehow. What do you mean somehow no one was there to witness it? Like 8 people live in the town square. The muscle cake. Yeah, she put her back into it.
But I didn't give up.
I don't know why this game makes me feel lewd.
Do I, Mother? I am as stubborn as my father, as you liked to remind me.
Big Debbie's zebra cakes, jacked full of protein. I don't know how to interpret that statement, Haggis. I don't disagree with it, but also, what am I looking at? Can I have the contents of the box? Also, question, might it not have been easier to simply remove the contents of the box and transport those?
Wait. Where's my money? It's not in here. Kenneth, you absolute liability of a man.
This is why we named the worm after him. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we really had... I mean, we would have had to buy a minimum of 2 drinks. So even if there is a way not to buy Arthur a drink on the first night, which I still kind of assume is true, you would still need to open a tab, so the necklace has to be used for this. I don't know if any of you care about this, but I play adventure games because I need to understand this logic. Even when there is no logic. We're bouncing on this debt. I mean, I like to think that we're, like, Dogvilling this whole town. When we leave here, everyone's dead.
It looks like everything else is in here. Picks, specimen trays.
Say lantern.
Shovels.
Lantern.
Oh, my chisel, I'll take that.
Chisel? That's like a lantern. Don't ask me how, but it is.
Ah, my lantern.
Oh, and the lantern. That's confusing.
It feels light. There mustn't be any oil inside.
Maybe we exchanged the fossil for oil, then. I mean, honestly, we could just Full Metal Alchemist transmute it, because isn't it basically the same thing?
I'll leave the rest in the crate. Stanley assured me things would be safe here.
Yeah, but, like, why trust him?
No money and no assistant. This is most inconvenient.
There's, like, this is the thing that maddens me about Thomasina Bateman. Is, like, she is upset, but her version of upset is, like, this is most unusual. As opposed to, like, screw Kenneth. I prefer the worm.
Still, I've been in worse situations.
Have you? Is there gonna be a prequel to this?
I've got a tab at the inn for now. I'll worry about money later. I must find that barrow and get on with the excavation. I don't wish to carry around my heavy excavation tools.
Okay, so what did we actually take? Took the chisel and the lantern. And that's it. I feel like there was something else in my inventory before. And it wasn't the necklace. How is there space for 2 items? Delicious says, screw Kenneth, I prefer the worm. Vasco and Dune 2, 2023. That sounds right. This is the long way. Take me to Hernwood. Take me to north of Hernwood. You're gonna want me to have a hammer or something first, right? Oh no. You know what's weird, actually, now that I'm thinking about this?
Splendid.
When we first showed up to this Loud Brook screen, and Jane was still here, and we haven't given her the doll, and she ran off to her giggle hole, he was like, no, don't touch the fossil, it's cursed, don't do it! But, like, there was no need for that, because in order to take the fossil, I needed to have an item that would have required me to be, like, several steps deeper in the game. Actually, I guess that's not true. I guess, hypothetically, you could do this before returning her doll. But it still seems weird that... Like, why have the little girl act as a gate to this? Because you don't have to solve her storyline before getting the fossil. In fact, the fossil seems like it will be part of her storyline. Maybe it's cursed anyway. I mean, maybe it is just a heads up that, like, when we give it to the One Piece, that's the name of the treasure on the Grand Line. When we give it to the guy, that he'll become cursed, like that mummy that someone tried to give away in a white elephant swap years ago. That's a literal true story. I know someone who possessed a cursed mummy. One Piece is real. Alright, my guy. Do you have oil or something?
Yes.
Lantern.
I was wondering if you might be able to spare some lantern oil.
I don't have much to spare, lass. Paraffin is as rare as hen's teeth in these parts.
I know where you could get a couple hens. Does that help?
How much coin do you have?
Funny story. I'm broke as heck, but I do possess a cursed fossil. What do you say? You receive one cursed fossil. I receive some lantern oil. Accept deal?
None.
If you're in a bind, I can trade you a small amount.
A trade, you say?
Aye.
To ribbons. To shreds, you say.
What can I trade you for some lantern oil?
Surprise me.
Okay.
Thanks for your time.
Aye.
Game is a step behind me as usual. Please allow me access to the inventory and my ammonite fossil.
Would you trade some of your paraffin for this fossilized ammonite, Mr. Crozier?
Now then, 'tis a beauty that.
Looks
I'll
familiar.
take it off your hands.
Wonderful.
Let me fetch some paraffin from inside. There you are.
Text favorite, an unnecessary
Thank you,
fade
Mr.
to black.
Crozier.
I mean, we weren't going to animate him, I guess is the point. Every day I'm chiseling. Alright, so now... map. Earnwood. Left. Left. Giggle hole. Save. 2 caked for this cave. Go in the
Fumbling
cave.
in the dark may cause me to spill the oil.
Oh, I see. I don't like that clicking and exit causes her to have like a reaction that generates dialogue that I'm likely to click over because I'm trying to double click to warp into the location. Oh, hang on. So I guess it's one of those games. That's the first time we've combined things in our inventory, I think. Some games don't let you do that.
My lantern is fueled and ready for action.
I mean, I don't like that the idle graphic is now it on fire, because that probably isn't how you should do that. But, okay.
Right. Let's put this lantern to good use.
Or at least use it. Drop it low. I mean, this is gonna be awful, right? Like, something bad has to finally happen. like
Jane,
it here.
Come out at once.
I think she's a Wendigo. She's imitating a person. What? Is she a werebadger?
Goodness me.
What? How did... If the lantern went immediately out, that'd be fun. How did... What? Hang on. Now we're in Obi-Wan territory. Like that stupid episode where, like, everyone was in the same tunnel going the same place, but the villain got there first for no reason? How did that happen? Like, we literally heard her ahead of us in a linear tunnel, and we got to the end, and there was an angry badger that for some reason didn't try to follow us or attack us in any way, and when we left, she was outside. That's some garbage Obi-Wan continuity.
Silly. What are you doing in that smelly old badger's hole?
The badger was a Wendigo the whole time.
You were in there.
No, I weren't.
Yes, you were.
I mean, we basically followed her to it. I don't think we... No, did we? No, we didn't actually see her go inside, right?
Not true. I was hiding behind that tree over there. I got bored of waiting for you.
So where can I find Hob's Barrow?
Go north from the church graveyard, up the hill. You'll see some muddy fields on the horizon. That's Mr. Bryden's farm. Hob's Barrow is there. Don't tell any grown-ups I told you. And thanks for getting Myrtle back.
My pleasure. Thank you, Jane. You've been a great help.
The badger was the friends we made along the way. I don't know, man. I'm having trouble keeping track of my own memes at this point. Did we did it? I honestly don't know. I think yes. I think we made progress. Honestly, I think that badger might be the friendliest person in town. I don't know how many save files I can have. But I'm going to enjoy naming files like I always do. It's not a good name, but it's a name.
As I trudged through the barren moors, with only the odd sheep for company, I reflected upon my visit to Bewley thus far.
No even sheep?
The enigmatic Mr. Shoulder and his puzzling disappearance. The townsfolk of Bewley, who had made it as difficult as they could for me to find Hob's Barrow.
I'm glad there's at least some acknowledgement of this.
The suspicion, the wariness in their eyes. Only now I know it was actually fear. In the end, it was the innocence of a child, young Jane, that condemned me to my fate.
Had we previously established that this was retroactive narration? I feel like it was lightly implied, but some of it kind of felt like it was in the moment. Well, that's an interesting thought. What if we did offer the badger a drink and then took it to the tavern? Maybe then it would eat Henry and Cyril. I want your bucket. Drop it low? Drop it low.
This is not mine to take.
Oh, shut up. I'm inclined to agree that she's a bad adventure game protagonist. Go.
Easy girl.
Relatively speaking, I'd say you've got a lot of goats right now. Only because I expected none goats.
I'm not fond of goats at the best of times, but this one seems particularly disagreeable.
Guess I'll knock.
What do you want?
I just saved, and I'm assuming the game will let me ask all of these. But I feel like rather than introduce myself or ask anything important, I just immediately want to ask about his goat.
That's quite an intimidating goat you own.
The old girl does a better job of protecting this farm than any hound would. She still produces a lot of milk for us, so we forgive her temper.
My name is Thomasina Bateman.
I promise, it's a real name.
Mr. Bryden, I presume.
Aye? What do you want, lass?
I understand Hobbs Barrow is located on your land.
Oh, well, yes.
And Cthulhu lives there?
Why'd you ask?
I am an antiquarian, Mr. Bryden. I'm writing a volume on the Barrows of England.
Oh, I suppose you'll be wanting to dig about it.
If at all possible, Mr. Bryden. I was invited to Bewley by Mr. Leonard Shoulder, who told me such an excavation would be possible.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like anyone likes Leonard. But then again, nobody likes anyone here because everyone in this town sucks and they all equally hate each other.
Leonard Shoulder? Ha! I haven't seen him in years. The last I heard, he were on death's door.
We're never gonna meet Leonard Shoulder. Either that or he's like the Darkest Dungeon ancestor and he's the final boss or something.
There's to be no more digging there, lass. Not since it went so badly last time.
Last time?
Was there a previous excavation of Hobbs Barrow?
We are gonna play a prequel at some point. Just kidding, probably not.
Aye. My brother dug it up. Must have been, what, 25 years ago? You see, whatever he found inside, well, it drove him mad.
Oh?
Aye. I moved back here to look after him. Poor bastard hanged himself not long after.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bryden. That's terrible.
4 tens of cakes. Cakes everywhere.
Aye. Time passes, but it were an awful thing.
This has been the most sociable person in the entire game, bar none. And he has, like, actual, like, reason not to talk to us about this stuff. This is very traumatic.
You haven't seen Mr. Shoulder for some time.
I hear about him now and then, but it must be a good few years since I set eyes on him.
He hasn't been here to visit Hobbs Barrow?
Not to my knowledge. I heard he's beset by ailments. Don't leave his home often.
How odd. I assumed he'd spoken to you about my visit.
Not at all.
What did your brother find?
Samuel. Samuel were his name.
You found Samuel?
Sorry. What did Samuel find in the barrow?
I don't know. But something went wrong. Afterward, he could barely speak. You couldn't make out a word, like.
That must have been hard.
He lost a hand in that excavation too, you know.
Goodness me, how?
I try hard not to speculate on what might have happened, lass. I'd see him disappear into that barrow, dragging timber in with him. You'd hear him, hammering away for hours. I offered him help, but he'd have none of it. Soon enough, he'd block the entrance off. To look at it now, you'd never know the thing we dug up. The land has reclaimed it.
Other men? I don't know what that's... Oh, let's ask about himself first. It might branch from
Tell
that.
me about yourself, Mr. Bryden.
I live here with my wife. I might be long in tooth, but I can still run this farm without too much help.
Kind of like an empty field, but yeah, sure.
Who else was involved in the excavation?
2 others, I believe. Outsiders, perhaps. I can't say for sure. I think they left town pretty swiftly afterwards. I lived in Bakewell at the time. I only moved back here to look after Samuel. I took over the farm when he passed away.
I see. What can you tell me about your farm?
Samuel's fair to side. We're a fortunate family. The soil is fertile here. Crops grow without too much trouble. All the other farmers round here raise livestock. Even Lord Panswick. We grow feed for him.
Most fortunate, Mr. Bryden. What can you tell me of Lord Panswick?
He keeps us going. Most of our crops go to feed his animals.
What is he like?
Oh, I've hardly laid eyes on him. He sends his workers here to pick up the crops.
I see. Is your wife home?
She's out in fields, lass, pulling weeds. The curse of such fertile soil. 40 years we've been married. I couldn't do it without her, you see.
It's like, I'm old, but I can still run the farm. How's your wife doing? She runs the farm. I'm standing here.
How splendid.
Aye. My wife is a fine woman. Are you married, lass?
No. I've had my
Even
fair
with
share
those
of proposals,
cakes, lass.
Mr. Bryden, but that's not the life for me.
Marriage is an important institution. You'll find a man one day.
I manage rather well without one, Mr. Bryden. You say Mr. Shoulder is at death's door. What exactly ails him?
I think it's blight, or maybe bleed.
I'm unsure. It's just what
Maybe
I've
the
heard.
Crimson Curse?
I wouldn't want to speculate on matters that are not my business.
Can I, like, unearth an unspeakable evil?
Mr. Bryden, may I please have your permission to excavate Hobbs' Barrow?
No.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Have you not been listening, lass? Samuel found something in there that's best left to rot.
Yeah, but, like, I want to see it.
No digging here, lass.
I get the impression some people might acquiesce to, like, wouldn't you like to find out more about what Samuel found there? I don't think that would work on this guy. He's actually made it, like, very explicitly clear that he's not interested in knowing anything more about it. It's a bad thing that happened. He doesn't like to think about it. He just has his wife run the farm and talk to strangers or what have you. That leaves me with, like, As You Wish, which I assume ends the game. Or I won't take no for an answer, which will, like, lead us to a series of ridiculous puzzles, perhaps.
I'm afraid I won't take no for an answer, Mr. Bryden.
Well, you're going to have to.
Can I look at Hobbs' Barrow?
Perhaps I can at least see Hobbs' Barrow.
I suppose you've come a long way to be here, lass.
Don't fall for this. This is an idiot trick. This is just us trying to figure out where to go to illegally excavate it, you goon.
All the way from London, Mr. Bryden.
Have you any proof of all you've told me?
I have letters, yeah.
You wish to see proof of what?
I can't let any Tom, Dick, or... What proof have you of your claims?
Alright, give him the
Thanks for your
letter. I
time.
feel like that doesn't need to be a puzzle, but sure, it could be a puzzle if you want, if you really want.
Here
Because
is
they got-
proof that Mr. Shoulder invited me to Bewley in order to excavate Hobbs' Barrow.
Leonard making bold promises, I see. Don't make me regret this, but yes, you can have a look at it.
I promise to make you regret it. That's what you said, right? I think that's what you said. Don't correct me, I know what you said. I'm inclined to agree, Demolition. Like, at this point, I'm still interested enough to, like, keep digging into this, but I do feel like the pacing is problematic. It's very slow. I don't mind slow, but, like, we basically have accomplished one objective in, like, 5 hours. And, like, the interim wasn't, like, super engaging. And it doesn't necessarily need to be, but it's, like, kind of nothing happened for that 5 hours until, like, the very end. Like, that's not great. And again, I'm not saying it needs to be super action-packed or whatever. Like, adventure games are often somewhat slow, especially if you get stuck on a puzzle or whatever. But, like, there's something about the nature of its design that has just, like, a lot of dead ends that feels a little frustrating. Of, like, things that seem, like, very normal or reasonable to, like, try and investigate, just, like, end with nothing, but, like, take up your time. And then, like, you finally get here, and it's still kind of another dead end. And, yeah, I get that, like, the hero's journey is overcoming the obstacles, but, like, I don't know. Like, you know, the Indiana Jones movies, like, famously, like, nothing goes correctly for Indiana Jones. Like, he's constantly failing. But, like, stuff still happens, you know? I don't know. It's kind of tough to articulate, but, like, I don't disagree with you. I do wish I had a sense of what the game was, and I wish at the very least that the game would give me that before it, like, dug its heels in and insisted on being quite so slow-paced.
Thank you.
Any road. Once you've set your eyes on it, you won't be wanting out to do with it. The place gives one a queer feeling.
So where can I find it?
The atmosphere of this game is, in my opinion, perhaps unrivaled. Like, it does... The thing it does well, it does very well. It's very focused in that one thing thus far, I think.
Through that gate to your left. Just head straight across the top to the field there. After 10 minutes or so, you'll see Barrow. Set on a hill ahead.
Thank you again, Mr. Bryden. I really do appreciate it.
He has to know that we're gonna make him regret it, right? But who's gonna ask us Shakespeare trivia? This is where it says, like, end of game 1, where, like, I've been playing, like, a demo the whole time without knowing it.
I probably should have brought my umbrella.
Just to get us really good. Out of principle, I feel like I need a save called Hob's Barrow, because we got here. That's the Shakespeare trivia, Alcadius. Alright, but you have to give me 3 options so I can get it wrong and still look like an idiot. Arrgh. 'Tis a pirate's secret.
A.R. I haven't a clue what that could be referring to.
Isn't the drunkard Arthur Runnerman? I think those are his initials. I don't know why I don't know the significance of a rock with...
Finally, here it is. Hob's Barrow.
Yep. That's apparently it.
Indeed, a barrow of a most unusual rectangular form. I've not seen something like this since West Kennet Long Barrow. Yes, this shall make a fine entry for my book. What secrets do you conceal, I wonder?
I mean, like, just to... I like that a single interactable in the game is Hob's Barrow. I mean, like... I don't know that she'll let me, because she shouldn't, but I have to try, right?
In good time.
Okay, she will not actually dig... She will not excavate Hob's Barrow, which feels on brand for the excavation of Hob's Barrow. Curiously enough.
That smell.
Who farted?
Earthy and sweet.
I got an achievement for touching Hob's Barrow. In some places, you get, like, arrested for that.
3, 2, 1. You can open your eyes now, Thomasina. Come.
What did he do?
Are you ready for your first excavation?
Yes, Daddy.
Capital. Make sure you remember everything I've taught you. I have a feeling you might find something special.
How exciting.
I'll be watching from the steps, my little bird. Good luck.
Thank you, Daddy.
Do I have a to-do list of all the things I've been taught? This is like a glorified tutorial, right? Okay.
Thomasina, a true archaeologist, uses the tools of her trade.
Yeah, but my inventory is empty, you clown. I assume that's the little blue thing that shouldn't be here.
Now I'm ready.
I like that it's basically the same item we have in the present. Oh, hello? Man, some of these hitboxes are like wonky.
Nothing here.
Nothing here.
No treasures here.
Cadius offers fill in the blank. To be or not to A, B, B, D, C, A, or D, C. That's good. I appreciate that. We're actually going to get a good present or like another angry badger.
Treasure!
Da-na-na-na.
Daddy, I found the treasure! treasure.
I don't think that whole vase fit in that little patch of dirt, to be honest with you.
Look.
Well done, little bird. Your first successful excavation.
I guess he's prepared her for a life of fighting pottery and dirt hills.
That urn you're holding is very old and precious.
Whoops, I already dropped it.
Take good care of it, all right?
I will, Daddy. I promise.
Throw it on the ground, it has rupees. I mean, at least one, right, Sarah? I'm gonna get your glorious pot. Why is she squinting and closing her eyes? Is she, like, getting headaches from, like, an evil source?
In good time. I do have a feeling there is something exceptional to be discovered here.
She sounds very excited.
I must gain Mr. Bryden's permission to excavate.
Sorry, what was that word? Excavate. I don't know if there's much else to be done here if she's not willing to break the law. It's neither here nor there. I think Arthur's last name starts with an R. I honestly don't remember. But I guess the implication is that he was part of the last excavation team and that he'll tell us something. Wasn't it, like, just across a field, he said? Like, it seems like half a day has passed. We just went up, touched it, had a memory, and, like, walked back.
Darkness falls quickly here. I should make my way back to the inn. I shouldn't disturb him at this late hour.
It's a really big field. Yeah, I guess they undersold that, huh? Guess I can... No, I don't trust the game. Sure, let's see if Bewley folk mean well when we get back to town. Will it let me go directly to... No, it won't. I have to say, there is something annoying about the fact that in the Excavation of Hob's Barrow, there's no fast travel to actual Hob's Barrow. I get that the farm is adjacent in theory, but, like, doesn't it kind of feel like it's important enough that you should be able to just go to it? That's a reasonable question. Is the goat asleep? I don't know what I would do to it. But yes?
I don't wish to risk waking it up.
Can I steal his bucket? Can I chisel the goat?
I should leave the goat alone.
Apparently I should leave the goat alone.
This is not mine.
I don't think I can do anything with that goat. I won't accomplish anything. I need to go to the square. Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Crozier.
Evening. Thanks again for the fossil, lass. 'Tis truly a beauty.
You're most welcome.
Let's talk fossils.
How long have you been collecting fossils?
Ever since I were a boy. The moors look a barren place, but there are plenty of fossils to be found in the rock formations. All manner of creatures to uncover.
Such a playground for a young lad. What's your favourite piece in your collection?
The ammonite you gave me today.
Oh, that's nice.
The most recent is always the best.
That's probably not a great attitude to have, but sure.
Indeed.
What about you, lass? Do you collect out?
I do. You see, I'm writing a book on the Barrows of England. It shall be called Vestiges of the Antiquities in Rural England.
You married to that, or maybe call it something that doesn't suck?
I document all my findings.
But what do you collect?
Pottery, tools and such.
Bones too, no doubt.
No, I leave those in place.
You've got a morbid heart, lass.
What? I don't think I understand that comment. Like, she's not disturbing the the body. I feel like if she said she did take the bones, saying she had a morbid heart would make more sense. I don't
Fussing
understand.
about in old graves like that.
We're not dissimilar in that we both take an interest in the remains of the long gone.
I suppose you have a point there. How's your book coming along, then?
Very well, thank you. Though I'm rather keen to begin my chapter on Hob's Barrow. Thanks for your time.
Aye. Speak to you later.
Cool. I think we technically made a friend.
Good evening, gentlemen.
What are you gonna do about him?
If he thinks he can take her away from here, he's got another thing coming.
Oh. Picked out of the window.
I am gonna knock his bloody block off. In fact, I can think of a better punishment. Oi, what do you want, lady?
Oh, you noticed me, huh?
Piss off.
You heard the man.
Charming.
Oh, someone's playing that cool knife game everyone loves.
Good evening, sir. I'll leave you to it.
Just swell.
I don't
Toilet
wish to
cat,
wake him
hello?
up.
How'd your argument go, Cyril?
Hello
Thanks
again,
for that.
Cyril.
You're still here?
Did Mr. Long convince you of the virtues of Bewley Station?
What the hell do you think? Now bugger off and leave me to me drink.
He seems even more wound up than usual.
Good evening, Miss Bateman.
Good evening, Stanley. I found Hob's Barrow.
Oh, remember what I said, Miss Bateman? There are stories connected to that place.
Yeah, if you don't tell me the stories, that's not a good warning. Like, anytime this sort of thing happens in a story, the bad thing happens because, like, this type of warning does not work.
Yes, stories you won't elaborate on, I might add. Don't worry about me, Stanley. I'm quite capable of warding off imagined fiends.
Not, like, a super cool attitude to
I
have.
have no doubt, but please leave that place be.
I've come this far, there's no turning back now.
That's precisely what worries me.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
It's bedtime.
The sun has set and rain has swept in. I shan't go out again tonight.
Everyone speaks, but nobody talks. Yeah, it's a little like that, Demolition. I don't understand this option. Like, there's, like, not anything to do. Why does the game, like, try to, like, convince me to stay up? Can I go to the bathroom now?
I must say, last night is...
Because, like, I've talked to, like, literally everyone, so I'm gonna go to bed. I don't understand why you, like, try to make me second guess that.
Tomorrow I shall convince Mr. Bryden to allow me to begin my excavation.
I mean, good luck, but in all honestness, just the fact that we touched the darn thing means that someone's probably, like, dead in the morning.
Miss Bateman.
Eh?
How are you?
Tired.
Gonna buy you a drink?
No, his last name doesn't start with an R. So who's R? They are. I kind of hate this man. Like, do I... I'm curious, chat. Like, what do you feel is the thing to do here? I mean, I could be polite and say the middle one, but I kind of feel like I'm inclined to either try to get information from him, which, like, definitely didn't work last time, or just, like, tell him to stop. Just tell him to stop. Like, the man clearly has a problem. Just keep it up. You think I should, like, try to drink him to death? Is that just because you want to Dogville the whole town? You just... I mean, it's not an unreasonable wish, I suppose. Well, I saved recently, so...
One won't hurt.
Excellent. I feel bad about what happened last night. I'm sorry I can't remember it.
That's all right, Mr. Tillett. Alcohol can do all sorts of damage to one's memory.
Which is why we shall both drink it now. I mean, surely I'm biased, but if you're gonna state this, it then seems quite odd to have some.
I was thinking that maybe if we had another drink tonight, I might remember what happened.
That plan is heinous, but proceed.
I'm not sure that's logical.
But worth trying?
Yeah, I really should have told him not to drink,
I don't need any further convincing.
Take your seat, Miss Bateman. I shall return with the goods.
I mean, I guess at least an adventure will probably happen when he goes missing again, or something.
To Leonard Shoulder.
Do we just hope he's dead?
I've been meaning to ask you something.
Yes?
Why did Leonard Shoulder ask you to dig up Hob's Barrow?
I don't know.
Despite his disappearing act the previous evening, not to mention his questionable sobriety, I decided Mr. Tillett was to be my ally.
Oh, I hate that I've done this.
I spoke again of Mr. Shoulder's letter, his proposed excavation, and my status as an antiquarian and barrow digger.
He then threw up on my blouse.
He was fascinated and quite excited at the prospect of meeting the soon-to-be author of a real-life book.
You must find all manner of riches on your digs.
Barrow digging is not all success, Mr. Tillett. Often I'll come across the likeliest of sites, steeped in promise. We set to work with shovel and pick and all the other barrow-opening paraphernalia you can imagine. Every stone carefully taken down, every shovel full of earth put dutifully through the sieve, and we find nothing. Or you may find a miserable remnant of animal bone or a shard of pottery hardly to be recognized from the peat in which it decayed. Sometimes it's as if some Neolithic humorist prepared an elaborate practical joke for your special benefit.
Wait, the vocabulary.
It still sounds much more exciting than spending your days sitting in England's most remote railway station.
It's all a matter of perspective. I kind of don't want to go to the stinky, cursed death hole, to be honest.
Are you all right, Mr. Tillett?
I've had another argument with Agnes.
Your wife?
Aye. She didn't want me coming to the plough tonight.
Good job, GG.
Truth is, I've been drinking my life away since my mother passed.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry for your loss.
You're kind, Miss Bateman. Thank you. It's been a year since the old girl left us. She had a horrible end, wasting away, day by day. Consumption got her. She was naught but bones by the end. I can't get the image out of my mind.
She literally turned into skeleton?
She were everything to me.
I'm so sorry.
I apologise for going on, Miss Bateman. It's not appropriate.
Don't worry, Mr. Tillett. I appreciate your openness.
Used to love going for walks out in the moor, my mother and I, ever since I were a little one. She'd get a tear in her eye as she looked out upon it. She loved this land. I asked Mr. Crozier to build a bench, which we've erected at her favourite lookout spot on the moors.
Ah, the bench.
Margaret's Lookout, we called it.
That's a beautiful tribute.
Aye. If you take a seat there, do keep her in your thoughts, won't you?
Of course, Mr. Tillett.
But we'll
I can
get an
relate
achievement
in
if we
some
go
manner.
there tomorrow.
My father had an accident when I was very young. He's still alive, but he can neither move nor speak. He spends his entire life bedbound and incapable of communicating or looking after himself in any way.
How dreadful.
He was a barrow digger himself, an antiquarian of some renown. He taught me so much, even though I was so young. I think writing this book is my way of carrying on his work. It helps me reclaim those earlier memories of him, and I visit him often to tell him all about my excavations.
Can he hear you?
I've no idea. The doctors aren't sure. I'd do anything to make him better, Mr. Tillett.
Even make a pact with some sort of horrid deity?
I'd do anything to bring him back to the man he was.
Yet the way you're emphasizing those sentences does not inspire, like, a super amount of confidence.
I am in a state of suspended mourning for a man caught between life and death.
Dreadful. Just dreadful.
We all have our weaknesses.
Mine is electric types.
Mine just happens to be my father.
And what of your mother?
A cold woman. We haven't talked in quite some time. I think she blamed me for my father's accident somehow.
You were but a child.
Indeed. She thus saw it fit that a governess should raise me, as she spent her life grieving for my father.
Well then, I propose a toast.
A toast to what?
A shared sense of loss.
I'll toast to that, Arthur.
Well, I appreciate
Now
getting
then,
some depth from his
enough
character.
of this wallowing.
Let us be merry. Another round.
I really shouldn't. But I did. And another after that. And another.
That suggests that we had, like... Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drinks that day? I think? No, 6. That'd
The
be 6.
frustrations of my visit to Bewley slipped away with each swill of Stanley's finest ale. We had great fun that night, Mr. Tillett and I. I treasure the memory.
Go on then. Let's hear those pipes.
Mustn't.
Sing the song.
You're incorrigible.
Please. You'll make a sad man happy.
Oh, all right then.
What's happening? What's the song?
Clasps, celts, and arrowheads I'll try to claw within my clutch. And if a shield I should espy, I'll vow there ne'er was such.
With popish tricks and relics rare, the priests their flocks do gull. In casting out the earth take care. Huzzah! I've found a skull!
Okay. Badger Nightmare? Okay. Let me just, Go ahead and use, Don't like it here. Nightmare Purple Void. Sun's getting pretty low in the sky, big guy. Also, she's walking even more slowly, so okay. Hi. Hello. Friend or foe? You look like a Lorwyn hobgoblin.
Hello, Thomasina.
Okay.
What is this? Who are you?
I'm the one that saved your father.
Interesting. So chat was speculating that perhaps the fact that the father, like, denied the existence of the Fae folk meant that the fairies were responsible for his accident. This perhaps suggests almost exactly the opposite. Anyone else taste violet? Yeah. Hurts a little.
What do you mean?
You were here 25 years ago.
So he was one of the two guys who went with the dude's brother?
My father?
You were deep down with the others. You were there, and something went wrong. I dragged him out.
Impossible.
I helped him then, and I can help him again.
That sounds like crazy ominous.
I don't understand.
Believe my words. You'll find proof in morning. Now go.
Go where? Okay.
One
This
more
way?
thing.
Okay.
This is not a dream.
Expiscore! The second day. Expiscore. Got an achievement called Expiscore. Oh, something is under my door. I can't imagine what it will be. Looks about as clear as a solved nonogram puzzle.
Goodness, that was a terrible sleep.
I don't understand this animation either. Whoever did her animations is just... Where's our candle? I mean, I think it's meant to be implied that the candle was replaced and we lit it to go to bed and then it melted again. But I kind of share your frustration, Sarah, for sure.
What's this?
Rock book? I got
There's
nothing
a
for you.
strange stone strapped to the cover.
Iaw. Hen rock. Okay. Oh. So the hobgoblin Fey friend left us our father's journal? I don't know what the initials with the chicken would be. Because the last one should be B if it's her father, right? Much better than rock lobster. Hard disagree, but, you know, to each their own. Day 1. Arrived after a decent day's ride from Bakewell. This is a curious place. Locals seem distant. I'm to meet my local contact tomorrow, so it will be an early night for me. I shall try to keep a diary of my stay here and not give up by day 3 of the excavation as usual. Wow. Bummer. Despite the thrill of possible new discoveries, I cannot stop thinking about my dear wife and wonder if I should have left her in her current state. I must have faith that she will conquer this bout of illness. Capital I. Day 4. True to form, my journal has been abandoned. Let that not speak for the excitement I feel for this excavation. After much preparation, we dig tomorrow. Wow, if it takes them 4 days to dig and he normally gives up on day 3, I feel like that tells me an awful lot about this guy's professional habits. After much preparation, we dig tomorrow. Such an exceptional site with a unique history. As for the dangers, we shall meet them head first. We are prepared. I also sought a local wise woman yesterday, and she provided me with a tincture for my beloved nausea, radiverum. Okay. I am sure she will be pleased with it upon my return. Lo, a place of miracles. A planted seed sprouted before our eyes and illuminated our path. Nature's laws hold no meaning here, but I clutch my tablet with the knowledge that it shall end this. Pho Theta Epsilon. No, Rho Theta Epsilon. It's weird the way that some of these symbols are written out and some are like anglicized. We found the code was simply in the singularity of the characters. All eyes must face towards the 7th Archontic. Alright, hopefully that makes sense to me later. Okay. When the sun and the 2 moons meet, the Guardian shall be defeated. Is it like a good Guardian, though? Or like a bad one? Okay. A dead language reveals the path, for thou art the moon, the chief of the stars. Listen to things that I have said. Follow the words of my mouth. Reveal thyself to me. I heard a whisper, not once, again and again. I will pour out my spirit several times. Last one written in red. Cool journal, bro.
It appears to be a journal, full of hogwash.
Perfect.
I don't recognize the handwriting. Maybe Stanley knows more about it.
Oh yeah, Stanley will love to tell us stuff about Hobbs Barrow. It's his favorite. He loves it so much.
Good morning. How's your head, Miss Bateman?
As the protagonist, I am immune to hangover, maybe.
That were quite the tune you treated us to last night.
To be honest, Stanley, I felt better. I take it you slid this journal under my door?
I beg your pardon?
The journal, Stanley.
I certainly did no such thing, nor could have anyone else. You're the only guest staying here.
What's the meaning of all this? Do you propose that it manifested itself out of thin air?
Well, the purple times were not a dream, I'm told.
Well,
Could be some magic involved. I have no idea if any of these choices matter, like, at all. It doesn't seem like it's in his MO to have provided us this information. It's almost certainly related to Hob's Barrow. I feel like he probably didn't leave it for us.
I'm sorry. I just don't understand how else it could have got there.
Journal Stone Dream.
Are you sure there was no one else here overnight?
without doubt.
How very, very peculiar.
So, what does it say inside?
Hogwash. Ooh. Yeah, there is a shiny thing on the table. It's super weird. What it looks like, oddly enough, is a candlestick, which in theory I no longer need. So, like, everything about that's a little off. I'm a little torn here. I feel like I generally trust Stanley, even if I don't love him. But, like, I feel like less than whether I trust him or not, I feel like he might be upset to learn what's in it. But so far he hasn't actually done anything to sabotage or try to stop me directly. And in fact has given me a tab to buy infinite alcohol to solve game puzzles for some reason. I think we should tell no one. I mean, at some point we'll have to tell someone, probably. I don't know. I think it's kind of close. But again, I feel like if I was to not tell him, it's because I feel like he would react badly to knowing that we have a journal that probably relates to Hob's Barrow, which he very clearly doesn't want us to go to, even though he knows stuff about it. I mean, like, if we told him about it, there's a chance that he might let slip the fact that it is related to something he knows about the Barrow, but, like... Sure, I mean, sure. We'll keep it a secret. We don't know what information we would need yet.
I'd rather not say, Stanley.
Oh, suit yourself.
What do you make of this stone?
That's a funny looking thing. It's got a cockerel on it.
What did you call me?
Yes, but have you seen anything like it?
Never.
Strong reaction.
Do you ever have strange dreams, Stanley?
Unhelpful question.
Me? I sleep as sound as a baby.
I had one such dream last night. It was so vivid.
What were it about?
I mean, I feel inclined to say that if you don't tell him about the journal, you probably shouldn't tell him about the dream. For, like, basically the same reasons, whatever logic you use to make that decision. Also, I can't, like, what good would come from telling him about the dream? I can't imagine that, like, we would be open-minded enough to, like, even, like, if he had any take on it, like, what would he say about it? I don't know. I mean, I guess he's superstitious to some extent because he just innately believes that Hob's Barrow is, like, cursed and bad and that it should not be disturbed. So, like, maybe if we told him about the dream, he'd be like, oh, it's an ill omen. You definitely shouldn't do anything here. Please leave. I don't know, man. Telling people about your dreams, like, just rarely works out.
Oh, nothing. Don't worry.
Suit yourself.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
I mean, that's
Good
definitely...
morning, Mr. Kemp.
Hi.
Good day, Miss Tompkins.
I don't think we know who that
I'm
is.
here for his lordship's paper.
Oh.
Sorry, lass. Mr. Price hasn't dropped them off this morning. I heard he actually left the village yesterday.
Yeah, he sure did. Sure.
Indeed. I can vouch for that.
Ma'am?
Good day.
Oh dear. His lordship won't be pleased.
My sincerest apologies, Miss Tompkins.
I'll come back in a few days. Ta-ra.
Goodbye.
But yeah, those conversations with Stanley. Oh, it's a knife? It sure looks not like a knife to me. Oh, it's the knife that
I can't budge it.
It's the knife that guy was using to, like,
Be
do that
careful, Miss
stupid...
Bateman. You'll cut yourself. I spent all morning trying to get that bloody thing out. I shall be having words with that scoundrel next time he shows his face.
I didn't even click. She just immediately goes to do it again.
Curses.
My cakes are of no use here.
We have our very own Excalibur. It's all yours if you can pull it out, King Arthur.
For some reason, the game is struggling a bit to advance some of the dialogue in exactly this scene. I don't know why. I mean, I could use my trowel or my chisel, maybe. Here's what we're gonna do. Just make a save there as a record of what we didn't tell him. The glove maybe could work to get traction. We have a few things that feel like they might work. For some reason, chisel feels most likely, but I imagine I can't actually do any of these.
I do not wish to damage Mr. Kemp's table any further than it already has been.
Yeah, try the worm. I did have that thought, believe it or not.
The trusty... This one is... I do not wish to...
Good grip, baby.
No, that won't achieve anything useful.
Okay, just like do the worm.
No, that's...
Okay, just maybe like light the table on fire.
I'm not sure what that would achieve.
Oh, you'd have a burning table, for starters.
No, that won't achieve anything.
Alright, I guess we're gonna have to, like, work out on the hunk-o-matic to get strong enough to do it.
Who is Miss Tompkins?
A housemaid in the employ of Panswick Manor. She comes by to pick up his lordship's weekly paper.
I'm surprised newspapers are available in Bewley.
Aye, his lordship gets what he wants.
Lord Panswick likes to keep up with affairs from outside of Bewley.
Aye, he has many interests around the country.
What sort of interests?
His lordship's affairs are his own business.
He has many interests. Name one. Many interests.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
Ah, Bewley. Never change, unless given the opportunity, in which case, please immediately change. Oh,
Right.
it's foggy.
I need to convince Mr. Bryden to let me excavate Hobbs' Barrow and find out where this journal came from. Curses! I forgot I had this worm in my pocket. Poor thing is dead now.
Oh no! Those just made several comments that we should try the worm on everything because it is our best friend and we love it.
Rest in peace, Kenneth. I've just noticed this matchbox is completely damp from the rain.
That's weird. What was I supposed to use? I think that on, like, day one, I was supposed to, like, use candle and matchbox to, like, find the guy in the dark. I'm not even sure you could take the candle,
The
though.
match is no use to me anymore.
But, like, the only other alternative would be, like, that the match's purpose is to, like, be used in the tunnel to no effect. That's so weird. What's weird is, like, a moment ago, the worm seemed fine. Going outside killed it. It's not unheard of for an adventure game to just, like, weed out your inventory. The manner in which this game did it is curious. It, like, came up with, like, an excuse for every item to leave. Very odd. Very odd game. Oh, it's market day.
Good day.
I'm still setting up my stall. Come back later.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, shucks, everyone. The little boy's not here. I know you're all disappointed. Oh, hi.
Good morning, Father Roach.
Ah, Miss Bateman, what a pleasure to see you again. Have you tracked down Mr. Shoulder yet?
Nope.
Don't get me started.
I'll take that as a no.
Indeed. Do you recognize this journal?
What a tatty old thing.
What did you call me?
You ought to take better care of your possessions, Miss Bateman.
What a bizarre assumption to make, given the question that I asked.
It's not mine.
Then whose is it?
That's precisely what I'm trying to find out.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I haven't seen it before.
What do you make of this stone?
I don't recognize the symbol from any Christian iconography. Did you make it yourself?
No, never mind.
You vomit today?
What brings you to the square today?
I'm meeting a couple of young congregation members to go over some scripture. You're welcome to join us.
Thank you, Father Roach, but I have quite a busy day ahead of me.
We will be at St. Edmund's, should you wish to join us later.
Got it. We'll need to find them later for some reason.
What do you know of Lord Panswick?
Oh, yes. A rather important fellow around here. His vast land holdings give many a steady employment.
I need to check something after we're done talking to this guy.
I hear he is renovating an old chapel on his land.
Aye, I've heard such reports. He believes this to be a godless land, something I wholeheartedly disagree with. To which god his chapel will be dedicated to remains a matter of concern.
Why do you say that?
Oh, my apologies. Don't listen to my oafish conjecture. Let us move on.
Thanks for your time.
Lord be with you.
Thomasina!
Good morning, Arthur.
You look a bit addled. Are you feeling all right?
I am not used to drinking as much as we did.
Aye. My head is pounding.
To tell you the truth, Arthur, I've had a somewhat puzzling morning.
Oh?
Someone slipped this journal under the door of my room.
Whose journal is it?
I have no idea. The text refers to some sort of excavation.
Stanley must be playing tricks on you.
He swore his innocence. I thought perhaps you might have done it?
No, it wasn't me. That's for certain. Somehow I have a clear memory of last night.
I wonder who left me this journal then.
Mind if I take a closer look?
Please, go ahead.
He's just gonna eat it. I don't trust this guy. What's happening? Hey, what's happening? Hey, the screen went black? Is he just reading it? I thought we were gonna get like a weird cutscene, like he was gonna throw up. We get cutscenes for vomit in this game?
The writings of a madman.
I don't disagree. Did the sketches mean anything to you?
I honestly don't get the impression they're the ravings of a mad person. Like, I feel like context is just missing is all.
No, not at all. But they turn me stomach. You might want to show this to Mother Mildred.
Nani? Thank you for the bits in memoriam of Kenneth 2, the good Kenneth. F's in chat. Thank you, Demolish. Who's that character? Mother Mildred? Nani?
Who is Mother Mildred?
Some think her a witch.
Great, good start.
A witch?
Aye. She might be able to help you with the symbols.
Where can I find her?
She lives alone in a little cottage within Herne Wood here. You shouldn't have too much trouble finding her.
Now that all the loggers went away.
Thanks, Arthur.
You're welcome.
What do you make of this stone?
It's a good shape for skimming across water. What is it?
I'm not sure. It was strapped to the cover of the journal.
How mysterious.
I had a splendid time last night.
Aye. I even remember most of it this time. Thanks for listening to me going on. I really appreciate it.
The feeling is mutual. Thank you too, Arthur. Shouldn't you be manning the station?
The line is down. Track damage between Bewley and Bakewell. No trains for a day or more.
Does that mean I'm stranded here?
For the time being, Thomasina.
Capital.
We've been stranded here the whole time. I just want to be clear on that.
Why do people think Mother Mildred is a witch?
Well, she has a familiar, and she turned me into a duck once. I got better.
Just because a woman lives alone in the woods doesn't mean she flies about on a broomstick.
There's more to it than that. They say she lays with demons.
Who are they?
Oh, you know,
men.
Local folk.
Hogwash.
Some also go to her for potions and spells.
Spells? Come now, Arthur.
Truth be told, she's a nice old lady. I sometimes see her foraging in the brambles around here.
Will she burn at the stake sometime soon?
You might think us backward in Bewley, Thomasina. But we're not that backward.
It sucks here, but, like, we don't burn people at the stake.
Sorry, Arthur. I only meant to tease. Goodbye.
Ta-ra!
Time for the game to save. To the wrong place, but something weird has happened. What? Are we painting a clown? What is happening?
Hello, dear.
Good day.
This is like Lord Panswick or whatever, right?
I believe we've met.
Miss Thomasina Bateman, the famous antiquarian.
My reputation precedes me.
I can assure you it does.
As do those cakes.
And you are?
James.
Oh god, we can ask him about Lord Panswick. I suspect he's Lord Panswick. Maybe I'm wrong.
Are you a painter?
You see this beck before you?
No, but I certainly hear it.
Look at the water. See how it tumbles and falls. I seek one spot on which my eyes can rest. Be it a stone or a small corner of the current. I meet it with my gaze, and out of the tumbling and falling, a new land rises. I see a new world.
You certainly have the eloquence of an artist.
Demolition, the expiration, I think I have it set to a month, so that it's not always empty and people feel like they can compete for places if they want in the top donation chart, whatever it's called.
What are you painting?
It defaults to like a week, but this didn't seem like it recognized people's generosity enough.
A new world.
Quite the ambition.
Indeed, my ambition knows no bounds.
Can I see it?
I wasn't meant to. Thank you, Demolition, for the 5 gifted subs. No need to do that, but thank you. Oh, I see. 30 gifts in 30 days. I see. I understand. Gifts up to the Spicy Wolf. That's a good name.
Not yet. It's not finished.
Also, he's just kind of painting a clown. It's like not a very good painting.
Such a world is not complete without you in it.
You flatter me, James.
Glad someone appreciates these cakes.
Nonsense. Say you'll let me paint you.
I mean, we're definitely gonna let this guy paint us like his French girls, right? Like, I feel like we need to do that. Yeah, like, it's like right there in front of us, and we've been agonizing over these cakes all day. Like, I feel like we have to let him do it.
Magnificent. You shall be the shining star of my new world.
Yeah, there's no chance I'll regret that.
I don't really have the time now, though. Perhaps later?
Don't fret, my dear. When the time comes, I shall call on thee.
Capital. Do you recognize this journal?
A place to keep one's thoughts and reflect.
Is it yours?
No, my dear.
What do you make of this stone?
It looks antique. You might want to keep a hold of it.
Do you know of Hobbs Barrow?
I'd like to know more about you, Thomasina. What time do you like to rise in the morning? How do you like your tea? What makes you happy?
What makes you tick, Thomasina Bateman? I mean, I feel like he's crossed the line, and I definitely shouldn't give him too much information, right? I mean, like, he can do a sketch or whatever, but, like, I don't know. I feel like if I tell him stuff, then the next weird thing I find in my room is going to be a corpse. That's very apt, Demolition. Perhaps the best use of that to date. Thank you very much. I want to like this guy, but he needs to back off a little.
Late, with 3 spoons of sugar and spending time with my husband.
Got him so good. Now he's gonna kill us, though.
You disappoint me. I sense no truth in your words. Are you a woman of dubious principles, Thomasina?
You ask too many questions.
Reasonable response.
Do you know Leonard Shoulder?
A man of Bewley?
Yes.
I care not for the men of Bewley.
It's like probably Lord Panswick or whatever,
Only
right?
for the visitors.
I can't ask him about the visitors? I mean, I guess he just means me, but this sounds like aliens or something.
What do you know of Lord Panswick?
A fine gentleman. Now that is someone who commands respect.
It's him, right? Like, it's
Do you know
him?
him personally?
No, I don't think anyone can really claim that.
Is it really not him, or is he lying now? I'm very suspicious of this.
But what a tiring subject. Shall we discuss something a little more exciting?
Goodbye.
See you soon, my dear.
I mean, it's weird because, like, that is, in fact, like, the last dialogue option in the tree, which suggests, you know, I'd imagine that on average that's the last exchange you have in the conversation. It's like, should we talk about something more exciting? She's like, okay, bye! Like, that's one way to shut him down. Oh, she's not selling cakes today. I can never buy cakes because I bought alcohol for Arthur What's-His-Face on the first day. Isn't that sad? I mean... Hold on a second. Drop it low.
I shall name you Kenneth II.
Okay.
Hello, Wally.
Go away! You gave the door back to my sister.
It wasn't very nice of you to bury her favourite toy, Wally.
I gave it to the fair folk, and you stole it back from them.
You don't really believe in fairies, do you?
I mean, it's not like stealing if you return it to where it belongs, exactly.
You're old enough to know better.
They're real, and thanks to you, I'm cursed.
Get dumpstered. You behaved in such a way that warranted a curse. That's not my fault.
There's no such thing as curses either, Wally.
Go away!
We're not friends with him. I had a weird thought when I lost the worm. If there's anything you can do with it on the first day, and if there is, the only thing that comes to mind is
I'm not
this.
sure what that would achieve.
I don't know.
William Paxton, modest and gentle of heart.
I don't think I read these gravestones. There might be an achievement. I don't know if there's any actual useful information to be gained from them.
Here lies Elizabeth Farnaby. Samuel Bryden. Death is only a shadow across the path to heaven. Here lies Margaret Tillett, beloved mother, wife, and sister. Today she dances with angels. Joseph Davis. John Purchase, dearly beloved husband of Florence.
Oh, nobody liked Joseph Davis. He got no follow-up. No epitaph.
Forever in light, Anne Kemp.
Can I sit on this bench? There is in fact an achievement for sitting on the bench, as I suspected. You got another achievement for not getting up from the bench. I kind of wanted to save on the bench. 20-minute bench scene go. Part of me suspects there's a third, but I don't know how long I'd have to be here. I'm inclined to say that a game of this sort would not want you to do like a 20-minute or like a 6-hour or one of those like super meme things that you sometimes see in games. Which makes me think that if it didn't happen after like a minute, it's probably not another one. Yeah, that's true. I mean, with the fog rolling through, it's pretty similar to the super low storm clouds here in Southern California today. Okay, I think we're probably done with the bench. Fun magic card moments, piece. The Excavation of Hob's Barrow, huh? It's a weird game. I don't know. My opinions haven't changed tremendously. I am certainly glad that, like, we've found the Barrow, and we've advanced the plot some amount. I think I'm interested to see more, but I do still have to admit that it's extremely slow, probably to a fault. Like, I don't know that you would necessarily lose out on all that much of, like, the creeping horror if things happened a little more often. Again, it's not even that, like, I think the stakes are too small and that there's, like, no interesting story to be told here or something along those lines. It's just that it takes so long to get anything done. And, like, little story advancements are like the bread and butter of like a strongly narrative game with limited gameplay mechanics, like a point-and-click adventure game. I don't know. Don't know what else to say. I mean, like, again, like, there's stuff from the trailer that suggests we get to a point that's like, you know, not necessarily more actiony, but like, again, it is a game that like has a quick save and quick load, which suggests things like fail states and like death conditions. Like, something has to happen at some point, right? I mean, there's part of me that still wants to say something along the lines of, like, I just want to play until I meet Leonard Shoulder, but it increasingly seems like we'll never meet him because he's dead. There's also some part of me that's, like, interested in, like, loading up one of the older save files and seeing if I can do something with the match that, like, first night I'm there. I'm very perplexed by the stuff we lost from the inventory. I mean, like, It's so strange. Like, I get that, like, there is a supply of multiple worms, and so I can have them on multiple days, but why would I need that? Like, you could simply have the game gate you from picking up a worm until you found whatever they're for. Is it the case that there's something I could already have done with it that I didn't? Doesn't seem like I was able to feed it to the hens or the rooster or whatever. Very strange game. Now we're friends with Arthur, who I think sucks. It's still kind of a nice scene, but, like, I do think he kind of sucks. I don't know. I don't think I'm off it, but I don't know what else I can say about it. At this precise moment, I don't even know what the next thing to do is. I was kind of waiting to see if I could find, like, a good, like, stopping point. Like, I feel like the transition to that flashback last time was effective, but, like, this time it's like we woke up. I guess I could have saved right away, but that felt a little early, and then, like, I don't know, we just keep having random conversations. Apparently there's a witch around here somewhere that we've managed not to meet in, like, a day and a half. Also, I have no idea how we will convince what's-his-face to actually let us, like, excavate the Barrow. And we really seem to be limited in the types of illegal activities the game will let us do. So I don't think we're going to use knife on him to convince him or what have you. Well, if you're watching the VOD after the fact, I know a lot of people did that last week and were excited for more. Let me know your thoughts and whether you still want to continue. I think I would pencil in another week of this. I mean, I definitely want to know more about what's going on and, like, the purple dreamscape and stuff, but, like, I don't know how long it's going to take to get there. Very slow. My computer's doing something weird. That's always fun. I do think it has stopped raining some amount, but that might just be because I'm still wearing my headphones. We'll say the little weather widget on the computer says rain is coming, which, yeah, sounds like a threat. Credible one at that. But before we wrap up the stream here, sort of sparse offerings here, as described in concern for the rain. But somewhere on the couch I've still hidden a Squirtle. If you can find a secret Squirtle, such as the one I've hidden, it's an omen of good luck for you in the week to come. The only other rule to consider is that if you can see a Squirtle, it's not a secret, but you shouldn't be able to see one. So, yeah, I'll give you a moment to consider where that might be hiding. Next Friday, assuming that the weather doesn't cause some other disaster, I think we should be good to... I think the plan with Murder by Numbers is to continue the story and not play through the optional missions, because even though the poll that I put up on the Discord was a little inconclusive, it seems like people generally want to see more of that game, and the majority don't seem married to the idea of doing the optional puzzles. And when I was working through the math out loud last week, it kind of sounded like a horrific amount of time to devote to doing the optional puzzles. So I think I've just talked myself out of that idea, frankly. Yeah, we should just have the one more case, and if we do only the story, it'll probably be like 6 weeks or something. That doesn't seem too bad. But if we tried to do the optional missions for case 3 and 4, that might literally take until next year or something, and, like, that sounds bad. Like, I have nothing against those puzzles. That's just so much time, and it doesn't actually, like, advance anything. Nah, it's fine. Like, I don't know. I just don't think they're probably that important. The ones I've seen so far, like, haven't, frankly, been that interesting, which kind of also factors in. So, like, that's fine. I can look them up if I want to or whatever, but I'm not married to that. Well, great. We got only a couple cases, but that pretty much covers, like, half the couch. So let's see if we can find that Squirtle together, shall we? Standing up is both painful and difficult because I am old. Right. Gas was fine. Lorenzo the Lobster. You can see there's nothing hiding directly behind him. noticed that he was sitting on top of this Triceratops, which contains an assortment of miniature sea critters. I thought it might be fun to hide them all together, along with all Carlos. You know I love Carlos. But unfortunately, no Squirtle, just very small sea friends. And our old buddy, Brown Bear, noticed that Wally and Eve, favorite romantic leads from a movie, because I'm a psychopath, are still hanging out together. No Squirtle there. So at this point, I'll reveal that the location of our secret Squirtle is behind Naomi, Queen of Narwhals. That's where Squirtle was hanging out this time. So yeah. That'll do it for this stream. I still don't really know what to make of this game. In no way is it that I don't like the game. I want to be clear about that because I talk a lot about things I don't like in a lot of games. And it is not that I don't like the game. It's simply that I still don't understand it. And I, at the very least, want to get to a point where I, like, get what it's really about. And I don't even think I literally mean the story. I mean that, like, a big part of the identity of a game like this is typically, like, what its style of puzzles are. And, like, what... I mean, to some extent, like, broadly what the narrative is about. And we have, like, a super broad sense of that, but it's like, I don't even know, like, what the thread is, I guess. I guess is part of what I'm talking about. It's not even necessarily that I need to see the whole picture to, like, get that sense of what the game is about. But, like, it's just, it is so ambiguous. And it's not necessarily bad, I just, like... I think that coupled with the slow pace creates some level of, like, narrative frustration of, like, I want to know more, and I, like, want to let you do your thing, but, like, I want to know more. Thanks, Jake. It's good to see you, and thank you for continuing the gift sub offered by Angel of Iron. Thanks to Angel. Have one of these. But yeah, we're wrapping up the stream tonight. We'll be back next weekend, Friday and Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific. We should start the 4th case of Murder by Numbers on Friday, and then carry on with more Excavation of Hob's Barrow next week, and then maybe we'll know what we're doing? I still don't. In the meantime, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you, and I hope to see you again soon. Whether that's this coming weekend or sometime in the distant future. Until then, I hope you stay safe and remember that you are Clawsome.